Should be a fantastic evening of action ahead of us. The two teams just lining up in the dugouts for the moment as they make their way now onto the pitch at the Riverside. It may well be must win for Leeds United in the race for promotion from the Championship, which is one of the most unpredictable things in the world of sport right now. Zero margin for error. Beat Middlesbrough tonight. They'll be back in the automatic promotion places. Live and exclusive EFL action as the season-to-end-all season continues live on the Talksport network. Your commentary team, the former Leeds women's forward Lucy Ward and Talksport's Joe Shennan.
Thank you, Hugh. What a thunderous atmosphere here at the Riverside Stadium. Good evening, everyone. There are just 12 games to go in the Championship season, and it is crunch time. Leicester lead the way, Ipswich 2 points behind them, and two further back are Leeds United, who know that victory here at Middlesbrough is absolutely crucial to their hopes of automatic promotion. Everyone at the top has wobbled at one time or other, and for Leeds, it's no win in three at just the wrong time. Time for Daniel Farke's side to show what they're made of, but if Leeds lose tonight, Leicester can win promotion back to the Premier League with a win at home to Southampton tomorrow. Again, live and exclusive that game here on Talksport 2. Well, these are the two sides. Middlesbrough with Dieng in goal, Dijksteel, Van den Berg, Clark and Thomas the defenders, Howson and O'Brien holding, Jones, Azaz and Silvera behind Latte Lat up front, and for Leeds United, Melier is in goal, Byram, Roden, Ampadu and Firpo are the back four, Gray and Gruev holding, Nonto, Ritter and Somerville behind Patrick Bamford, who starts against his old club. Thick smog has rolled in overhead now. Can't see anything in the distance over the top of the east stand opposite us. The floodlights are on. About 30,000 here at the Riverside tonight. 2,500 Leeds fans. This is where it really matters in the Championship season, Lucy Ward.
Yeah, it certainly does. And this is a difficult place to come for Leeds. Middlesbrough obviously unbeaten in 9. They'll be looking to be unbeaten the rest of the season so they can sort of build a platform for next season, really, because they struggled right at the start. But Leeds, it just depends, Joe, whether the pressure gets to these Leeds players, because it has done in the last few games, and they're not picking up points and not scoring goals, but it has to change tonight if they want to go up automatically.
And all the action live with us, as you would expect. The Premier League, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, every game is live with us. Friday night, QPR against Leeds in the Championship. This is an absolutely crucial night in the second tier. Just 3 games to go in the race for promotion. Leeds start outside the top 2, but will go second with a win here against Middlesbrough, who have the faintest hopes of playoffs. Not really realistic anymore for them. But if Leeds lose, the door is open for Leicester to confirm their return to the top flight tomorrow against Southampton. All of the top 3 are live with us this week, and there's potential for dreams to be made and hearts broken. All on your home of the EFL. Talksport 2, Leeds get the game underway. From right to left in the first half, all in white, and Middlesbrough all in red. From left to right, towards the south end of the Riverside Stadium. We are high at the back of the main stand, to the left of the halfway line, steep drop to the touchline below, and the Leeds supporters, as you can hear, in raucous voice on the far side of the field. They're on one side of the ground as a long throw downfield is cleared away by Matt Clark, the burly centre half of Middlesbrough. It drops at the midway point of Leeds territory. Leeds can't keep possession, but eventually they managed to work it wide to the right-hand side, and Nonto then tracking back is Patrick Bamford. There was a foul on Sam Silvera, and it's a free kick to Middlesbrough just inside Leeds United territory. Whether or not Middlesbrough can make the playoffs, and as I say, realistically, it's not going to happen for Michael Carrick's team, not this year at least. Lucy Ward, this is a big rivalry, Leeds against Middlesbrough.
Yeah, it's a massive rivalry. So the professional pride of these Middlesbrough players, who probably know that they're not going to get into the playoffs, but if they are, they need to win this game. And I think the extra motivation is to actually stop Leeds from going up automatically. It's that fierce a rivalry. It just depends of whether they've got the intensity, these Middlesbrough players.
Here's Isaiah Jones in red, taking on Junior Firpo, right-hand edge of the penalty area. Low ball in, is going to be intercepted by Ilya Gruev at the near post, and Leeds now with Somerville, so outstanding this season, wearing gloves on what is a relatively chilly night on Teesside. Tries a little back heel and it's gone straight out of play. Uncompromising the Middlesbrough fans in their response. Ironic cheers Firpo goes down in a tangle of legs with Jones, and in the end the referee says it's a goal kick to Leeds United away to our right-hand side. The Middlesbrough fans are right up for this. Leeds need a win to go back in the top 2. It's Championship football, and we love it here on Talksport 2. 2 minutes gone, Middlesbrough 0, Leeds 0.
Yeah, Junior Firpo's playing left back. He started to limp, but if there is a weak part of this Leeds team, it's Junior Firpo at left back. He's not always had that left back berth, and it's been an Achilles heel for Leeds this season that they haven't really got a strong one. But he's sort of popped up with assists, but if you want to target any area, then that's where you target. And Isaiah Jones for Middlesbrough has got the pace, and Firpo is limping a little bit. Whether Leeds will have to make a change, but is it going to be in for a tough night if he's facing up to Jones all night?
We will have at least the next 2 Leeds United games live on Talksport 2, including the trip to QPR on Friday evening, and in fact by then they could have potentially opened up quite the lead over Ipswich Town, who don't play until Saturday, away at Hull, live on Talksport 2. Header away by Van den Berg at the heart of the back line for Middlesbrough, and the ball's picked up by Lewis O'Brien on loan from Nottingham Forest in the centre circle, often linked with moves to Leeds United down the years. And then Nonto has taken it off the toes of Luke Thomas, but he's penalised by the referee for a foul, and Nonto, head in hands, can't believe the free kick was given to Middlesbrough.
Yeah, he's had a tough start to his time, Luke Thomas, at Middlesbrough, and he will have one tonight against Nonto.
Archie Gray bursting down the middle for Leeds, and now Somerville's collected a loose ball inside the penalty area. Angle is tight, little back heel towards Nonto. Across came Clark at the last, just as Nonto was about to shoot. Very good advantage that played by the referee Tony Harrington. Gray was certainly fouled, but Somerville very nearly had a sight at goal. In the end, it's a Leeds throw down in the right wing position. Nonto is then tripped. It's a Leeds United free kick. The foul by Luke Thomas, and what a frenetic start to this Championship encounter it's been. It's Middlesbrough 0, Leeds 0.
Yeah, that's exactly what we expect. I think Archie Gray, a little bit of a dive. The referee didn't give it. Everybody thought he was going to give it, and then it ended up at Nonto's feet, but he couldn't get a shot off, and then it went wide. And again, Luke Thomas just struggling to cope down that right-hand side with Nonto.
Somerville is the Championship Player of the Year. He's got the free kick on the far side, the right, one arm up into the air, plenty forward in wide for Leeds, whips it high into the penalty area. Ampadu is climbing, blocked by his own man. Ruter hits it on the volley on the rebound and headed away by Matt Clark. The bald-headed Clark up to the halfway line where Gray is waiting, and a deep ball up the inside right channel, not hit with enough accuracy to reach the flying Somerville, the Leeds number 10 on the far side of the field, and it's out of play for a goal kick to Middlesbrough, who come into tonight 9 unbeaten in the Championship, their longest unbeaten run since 2020. And as I mentioned, Leeds, who had such a blistering opening to 2024 in outstanding form, suddenly, Lucy, for Leeds, 5 points from 5.
Yeah, it's so strange what pressure does to teams and does to players, but I think Middlesbrough started this game defending well. They've had to defend well, and they've been susceptible defensively this season at times, Middlesbrough, but certainly Leeds will put pressure on them. The front four that Leeds have got, getting the ball wide, getting the ball into the box, they need to make sure they defend well, and Clark has started off very well.
Leicester City fans hoping for a big favour from Middlesbrough potentially tonight. If Leeds are beaten here at the Riverside, then a win for Leicester against Southampton tomorrow at the King Power would confirm that Leicester are back in the Premier League. That'll be live on Talksport 2. Leeds have started well. Good energy from both teams, in fact. Shove in the back of Thomas. That's a free kick. Fouled by Leeds' Sam Byram. In at right back in place of the injured Connor Roberts tonight. And it's a Middlesbrough free kick. Far side there left, in front of that single-tiered east stand. The east side of the stadium is where the Leeds fans are, the southeast corner, if you like. And Middlesbrough have got it now with Clark midway inside his own half of the field. Doesn't look comfortable playing the ball out of the back, but he has dinked it over the feet of Nonto to find Thomas. And now O'Brien looking to race towards the halfway line, but his pass is short. A hospital ball intercepted easily by Gray just inside Middlesbrough territory. What a remarkable season Archie Gray has had, by the way. First season in senior football. Leeds have given it away though. Tap forward by Azaz. Latte is in, and he's bundled over. Jones tucks in the rebound anyway. Middlesbrough lead. It's a massive goal in the Championship promotion race. A nightmare for Leeds United. It's a goal though that is celebrated with raucous abandon by the Middlesbrough fans here at the Riverside, and no doubt listening Leicester City supporters too. Emmanuel Latte raced through the middle. He was clattered into gone down, he stayed down, but Isaiah Jones was there to tuck it home and make it Middlesbrough 1, Leeds United 0.
I tell you what, they've been under pressure, Middlesbrough, right from the start, but they won it back. Luke Thomas did really well, and they pass it so well. It's just one touch, difficult for Leeds to deal with, and that looked like it could have been a penalty, but it let loose the ball, and it just allowed Isaiah Jones to just siphon it home. But Meslier absolutely clattered Latte Laugh, and my initial thought was perhaps that might be a penalty with Rodon's challenge at the same time, but there's a ball ran free. Isaiah Jones the first to react, and that's their first foray forward, that Middlesbrough, and they put the ball in the back of the net.
And Leeds are behind again. Leeds, who haven't scored in their last two, and some more encouragement for Middlesbrough. One, as Latte Lath is helped to the field, but two, that goal scorer Isaiah Jones, Middlesbrough are unbeaten in every game that he's ever scored for them. So that's 11 matches in which Isaiah Jones has scored for Middlesbrough now, and in the previous 10 they've never lost. And as it stands in the Championship, Leicester would have the chance to go back to the Premier League with a win tomorrow night at home to Southampton.
And the one thing that Middlesbrough can do is when they regain possession, that they move the ball quickly up the pitch, and that was all from the left-hand side. When Thomas won it, it was one-touch play that ended up with Latte Laugh right into the penalty area, gets clattered by Meslier, and the ball runs free to Isaiah Jones. But that's just the way that Middlesbrough play, and they'll defend well. They'll defend probably a little bit deeper into a mid-block, and try and punish Leeds on when they regain possession, and they certainly did then.
Latte Lath is jogging. He's reached the near side touchline in front of the Middlesbrough boss, Michael Carrick, and Latte Lath is about to come back onto the field. Middlesbrough down to 10, but they lead Leeds by a goal to nil. And a gleeful moment, that Isaiah Jones goal, not just for Middlesbrough, as I say, not just for Leicester, but for Ipswich too. Ipswich, who as it stands would stay 2 points clear of Leeds, and Ipswich would retain second place. Leeds would play a game more, of course, than both Ipswich and Leicester, but there's a long way to go still.
I was just thinking that, Joe. There's just so long to go. You know, we've only played into 9 minutes, into 10 minutes, and you know, we've seen a lot of Leeds getting themselves forward, but again, we only needed one chance.
Ferocious atmosphere here, and the Middlesbrough fans are roaring their team on. Silvera's gone down, the winger, far side to left, midway into Leeds territory, and the referee signals for a Middlesbrough throw, which Luke Thomas will take in front of the 2,500 travelling Leeds fans. Infield to the former Leeds man Howson, who's lost possession to Gray in midfield. Bamford, the number 9, up against his old team tonight, carries it over halfway, but he was slow to play the ball forward, and in step Van den Berg to win it back for Middlesbrough. And now Finn Azaz, midway inside Leeds territory, tall and rangy, the number 20, who plays in the number 10 role. Howson again brought down on the halfway line, no free kick given. It was a fair tackle by Gruev, but then Gruev, having dispossessed Howson, who lost the ball for the second time in the space of 30 seconds, was unable to pick out Bamford down the middle, and Middlesbrough have possession back, leading by a goal to nil on your home of the EFL, Talksport 2. This one of more than 60 games live in the month of April on the Talksport network. Make sure you download our app to be across all of the action. And what a 10 minutes it's been for Middlesbrough.
Yeah, do you know what, Joe? The sort of patterns of play from Middlesbrough, the movement up front, I think Finn Azaz gets himself into good space in between the lines. He's a clever player, clever 10, and obviously you've got Latte Laugh in that central position. The wide players, Jones and Silvera, all getting themselves involved and coming inside and playing, and they look threatening when they go forward, even though they've not done it that many times against Leeds so far.
Daniel Farker's got his dark coat on, the Leeds manager, hands in pockets on the near side, the halfway line. Latte Lath sprinting onto a ball in the centre circle, but he's robbed the possession by Rodon. Rodon steers it wide left to Somerville. Somerville quickly on the attack, scampers down the left. He's tackled by a brilliant challenge from Latte Lath sliding in. Everybody's playing their part for Middlesbrough in these early stages, and Dijksteel is fouled by the retreating Somerville, and it's a Middlesbrough throw in their right back position. The home crowd are loving this, and you can see why, Lucy Ward, Middlesbrough are so buoyant and on such a good run at the moment.
Yeah, they're at it, Middlesbrough. I think obviously the early goal helped, but they want to continue their unbeaten run. That's Latte Laugh coming right back to the right back position to recover the ball from Somerville, and I think this has wobbled Leeds a bit, that early goal. I'm looking over at the fans, and not many are singing. They were singing right at the start, but they're thinking, here we go again.
Middlesbrough playing from left to right in the first half. There's a group of fans behind the goal that they're attacking who are waving giant flags and jumping up and down. The ground is mostly full. There aren't too many empty red seats, a smattering here and there, but it's a good crowd at the Riverside, and it's Middlesbrough who lead 1-0. Middlesbrough starting the night 9 points adrift of the playoff positions with a far inferior goal difference to Norwich City and West Bromwich Albion, who sit 6th and 5th with, as I say, 72 points each. But at Middlesbrough, I think even Michael Carrick admits the playoffs isn't realistically going to happen, but they want to finish the season as best they can to put them in the position where they can carry that momentum into next year.
Absolutely, and I think that, you know, if you end the season in poor form, then you usually carry that into the next season, and he will be looking that his team really sort of improved as the season gone on.
Here's Ruter darting down the left, the assist king for Leeds United. He's into the area, tripped by Dijksteel, penalty. Had to be a penalty kick. Dijksteel from behind on Ruter, who burst into the box, and Dijksteel was always trailing behind the fleet-footed Leeds attacker. Ruter's gone down and he has hurt himself almost after the fact, but Dijksteel maybe a little rusty. His first start for Leeds since December has tripped him up, and the referee had no option, Lucy Ward, but to give a penalty.
Yeah, he got on the wrong side of Ruter, that's what happened, and then there was a tangle of legs. You're just watching the replay now. Ruter, I think it's just started, and it just... I don't think that it's an obvious foul. He just got his legs caught in Ruter, and as soon as he felt that contact, Ruter, he just went down, felt something at the back of his calf as well. But that's, for Middlesbrough's start, that's really disappointing for them that they give away that penalty.
And Patrick Bamford was going to take it, but he's since given the ball.
Yeah, Leeds fans are cheering because he's not taking it, which is a bit harsh.
To Somerville. So it'll be Crescencio Somerville enjoying his best ever scoring season so far. 18 goals for Leeds United this campaign, with a straight run up to try and put them level. Hands on hips here's Somerville. Massive moment in the race for promotion. Then he curves his run up, right footed into the corner beyond the diving goalkeeper. Dieng went the right way, but it's the EFL Championship Player of the Year, Crescencio Somerville. 19 now for the season for Leeds United, and Leeds have responded in the grand manner at the Riverside. It's Middlesbrough 1, Leeds 1.
Yeah, good response from Leeds. I think that he was a bit clumsy, wasn't he, Dijksteel, but no mistaking the penalty from Somerville. I think he's the player that you looked at, the Leeds fans look at to score the goals, and even where the goalkeeper Dieng went the right way, he was had enough curl in it on the strike to just go into the side netting, and it's a good finish. But I think Middlesbrough basically let Leeds off the hook there, giving that penalty away, because they really got themselves in front, and the high intensity of Middlesbrough was causing problems for Leeds.
And so Somerville has got his goal, and Leeds United are level here, and of course that would put the opportunity for Leicester to win promotion tomorrow night against Southampton on hold. They have to hope Leeds lose. Ruter, great reverse ball into the box, and Bamford's collected it now. Back to goal, down by the dead ball line. He cuts it back to Gnonto. Gnonto burst into the area, and he wriggled away from two in red, but eventually darted beyond the dead ball line. He couldn't keep it in play. Tried to cut it back across. Out it goes for a goal kick. So Middlesbrough 1-1.
You know what, it was a reverse ball for Patrick Bamford to run onto, and then he cut it inside. Gnonto should have shot first time. He took 2 or 3 touches, and in the end he was just shuffled out over the goal line. But that was a big opportunity for Leeds.
And now driving rain here at the Riverside Stadium. The skies are a midnight blue, and the rain is absolutely torrential from overhead. Middlesbrough have it with Van den Berg, and that's a massive boost, that you have to say, for Leeds United in the context, really, because having failed to score in consecutive home games in the Championship coming into tonight, they're level away at a very difficult opponent in Middlesbrough. Lewis O'Brien wide left for them to Silvera, and now Thomas in red. Far side the left, hugging the touchline. He can't set up the run of O'Brien on the underlap. Hacked away by Byram, out of play for a throw to Middlesbrough on the halfway line. What an unbelievable start, although should we be surprised, Lucy?
No,
given the Championship?
Definitely not. It was a great response from Leeds from going behind.
And now O'Brien's dug out across towards Jones, the goal scorer again, headed away bravely by Ampadu. Clash of heads with Isaiah Jones, and Ampadu has gone to ground here, and Leeds are going to get themselves a free kick, and the Leeds captain Ampadu holding his head, and he slowly gets to his feet. Rodon and Ampadu have been a generally excellent partnership for Leeds United so far, as two centre-halves together. 10 clean sheets between the two of them. Not a clean sheet today, of course, but it is one of the best centre-half pairings in the Championship.
It is, but I think you lose something from midfield when Ampadu plays at the back. What you gain at the back, you lose in midfield. And at the moment, Middlesbrough find it really easy to get through the centre of the pitch, and I think from Daniel Farke's point of view, that's quite worrying.
Middlesbrough 1, Leeds 1 in the Championship, live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Junior Firpo steered the ball wide left to the near side, and Gray level with the edge of the 18-yard area. Gray has to go back to Somerville, the goal scorer, midway inside the Middlesbrough half. Forward to Firpo again. Firpo, dangerous cross. Bamford bundles it in. Patrick Bamford against his old club after Dieng hesitated. And what a turnaround here for Leeds United. Patrick Bamford, their number 9, just when they needed him in the Championship promotion race. And it's now Middlesbrough 1, Leeds United 2, and Leeds have scored twice in the space of 4 first-half minutes.
Yeah, we talked about Leeds needed to find scorers, and one of them had to be Patrick Bamford. And what had happened is that they played the ball a couple of times down the left-hand side, and Clark had played Leeds onside, and they were quite patient at the left-hand side. And it's a great ball in, I think, from Firpo, and he wasn't offside. He's level with Clark, who had dropped deeper. And then Dieng, decision-making poor. He should have taken Bamford and the ball out. Grabbed hold of the ball, but Bamford, it hit some part of his body. I think it touched his leg and went in, but he won't care how it was finished.
And so Leeds are up to second as it stands, above Ipswich, and Leeds would be on 90 points, one behind Leicester. We said there was a long way to go after Middlesbrough has scored. There's still a long way to go here now. 18 gone, but it's Leeds who are 2-1 up. I wonder how much blame Seny Dieng has to take for that goal.
Absolutely. I mean, it's two defensive mistakes. They find themselves behind Borough after a good start and scoring first. Dieng, when you're the goalkeeper, you should have the advantage to come out and take the ball and take the man. It won't be a penalty because you'll have caught the ball. But he then turned and started shouting at Clark, and as a goalkeeper, you've got to take responsibility for that.
Here is Clark for Middlesbrough, 10 yards shy of the halfway line on this very zippy surface, slick and wet, good quality playing surface. Middlesbrough, who haven't lost since the 2nd of March, but they're 2-1 down here. A thundered ball downfield by Dieng, and Jones was clearly in offside position there, well ahead of the two centre-halves. There's a hug between Jones and Ampadu, but that's obviously a Leeds free kick on the edge of their own penalty area.
You know what, Joe, that straight ball, whether it's a longer one or whether it's passing through, Leeds are struggling to deal with the ball through the central areas, and Middlesbrough have got it off to a fine art that they just need to defend better than they're doing.
Leeds look like they can score every time they come forward at the moment here. Middlesbrough not lost at home in 4 as part of their impressive run, but they are vulnerable in the first halves of matches in terms of conceding goals. They tend to tighten up in the second period, and Middlesbrough's first half vulnerability been laid bare again tonight by Leeds. They've come from behind to get the advantage in the game. Here is Jones on the halfway line though for Middlesbrough. Right wing position, one-on-one with Firpo. He's got Dijksteel on his outside. Here's Dijksteel. Near side, infield to Azaz. Back up wide to Jones again. Corner of the penalty area. Back to Dijksteel once more. Latte Lath is in the middle. Silvera there too. Howson with a lovely 10-yard ball forward to Azaz. Tried to knock it into the path of the on-rushing Dijksteel. Blocked off. Then Howson firm but fair with a robust challenge, and Azaz has won it back off Ampadu. Azaz delivers right-footed, and it's sent high and away up into the darkening sky by Roden for Leeds. And now the loose ball is plucked out of the air by the number 9 Bamford, who scored a hat-trick the last time Middlesbrough beat Leeds here in 2018. That was a very late challenge from Azaz. Meanwhile, on Gray, got nowhere near the ball. I think the referee had actually blown his whistle.
You know what, this could be absolutely any score, because when Leeds go forward, they look like they're going to score. When Middlesbrough go forward, they connect really well on both wings. Azaz comes and joins in with the full-back and one of the right or left central midfielder and the wide player, and Leeds are struggling to actually cope with that. But I think that you look at Middlesbrough, they've not quite got the talent that Leeds have got in that forward line. That's the only difference.
Well, there have been so many twists and turns already in the promotion race. At one stage, it looked like nobody wanted to win.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is, I think that Leeds will have looked, after the last two results, they'll look at this, they have to get 3 points. You see the reaction of the Leeds fans when they scored that second goal, that, I think it's key.
And maybe they'll have looked at Leicester as well, beating West Brom, Leicester getting their act together, and Leeds know that they've got to take the opportunity tonight. They're second in the Championship as it stands, leading 2-1, back above Ipswich, who would have a game in hand. They're 2 games in hand by the time they next play. Away at Hull on Saturday, live on Talksport 2. Emmanuel Latte-Lath, Middlesbrough's number 9, in great goal-scoring form. Infield to Silvera, surrounded by white shirts about 25 yards out, so had to go left of centre to O'Brien. O'Brien with the lime green boots on, forward to Silvera. Long way out, thought about a shot. Instead, wide right they go to Jones. Corner of the 18-yard area, forward to Azaz. Down by the dead ball line. Azaz, his first attempt at a cross is blocked off. Now Firpo's forced him down to the corner flag. Middlesbrough very deftly held on to possession here as Jones, from a very tight angle, plays it back to Van den Berg, the centre-half, big centre-half, brother of the Liverpool defender Sepp Van den Berg, who spent some time in the Championship in his career in the past. Now Silvera again for Middlesbrough. Right-footed cross from the left of centre position is headed away by Archie Gray for Leeds United. Hard to believe that Archie Gray is still only 18 years of age, the maturity that he's shown this season, Lucy Ward.
Yeah, he's been terrific, and the last sort of few years Leeds Academy's struggled to produce sort of their own come through the academy. He was always one that they targeted, and he's certainly shown his potential this season. But I do think that the movement and the way that Middlesbrough play, I've not seen them very much this season, but I'm really impressed by the way they keep the ball, particularly in the final third. They're just causing problems for Leeds, but it's just they need to penetrate, they need to go in behind.
The rain has stopped almost as soon as it arrived. Floodlights on at the Riverside. And Leeds lead 2-1 at Middlesbrough, but here comes Dyke still for the home team. Good low ball in from the near side to right, and it's knocked behind by Ampadu, and that's a Middlesbrough corner in front of that very noisy south end of the stadium. The supporters are hopping up and down behind that goal and really trying to spur Middlesbrough on, suddenly in search of an equaliser now.
Yeah, there's great rotation in both wings for Middlesbrough, and it just means that either the fullback or the wide player gets on the ball to cross it.
All of the back 4 are forward for this corner. Azaz has taken it short along the dead ball line to O'Brien, who's played it back well outside the penalty area now to Howson. Howson steers the ball wide with precision to Azaz, who's cut it back to O'Brien on the edge of the box. A left-footed curling shot is blocked. Latte-Lath will try and bring it down by the dead ball line on the far side, and he's managed to smuggle it behind via a Leeds United shirt for another corner to Middlesbrough, this time on the opposite side in front of the Leeds fans.
Yeah, just watching Daniel Farker, and he's sort of telling his team to just calm it a little bit, because it is end-to-end, and as the away team, it's the last thing that you want is end-to-end, particularly when you're in front.
25 almost breathless minutes gone here live on Talksport 2. Another corner to Middlesbrough. Azaz will whip it right underneath the crossbar, and Meslier, tall goalkeeper, has to backpedal to tip it over two-handed. I think he had it under control there, Meslier, though it helps when you're 6'6" in that kind of situation.
Yeah, but they're targeting him because he can flap at set pieces. Meslier right under his crossbar, and then he was under pressure as well and just did enough. It wasn't really threatening. I think it was just above the crossbar.
Line of red shirts almost on the goal line in front of Meslier. Azaz right into that near post, punched away two-handed by the Frenchman, the goalkeeper. Back out to Azaz again. He delivers via deflection. Patrick Bamford clears away for Leeds on the volley, and now Jorginho Ruter takes a possession, but he's lost out to Azaz on that Middlesbrough left. Quick ball to Silvera, left hand edge of the area. Silvera drives in the cross, sliding in his Rodin, and Leeds having to fend away real Middlesbrough pressure here with a fourth corner in quick succession on the way.
I'll tell you what, Finn Azaz has been brilliant. He's playing in that sort of 10 position, but he goes out left and joins, and he goes out right as well and gets the ball forward.
He's got the ball back from O'Brien after the corner was taken short. He's led with the edge of the 18-yard area, held up by Gray, and Gray does well to charge down the attempted cross. In fact, it was Byram getting in the way for Leeds United. Now O'Brien delivers from the left, a poor ball straight to Bamford on the edge of the Leeds D. And now Junior Firpo from the left back position in this very fleet-footed Leeds team. Attractive to watch. We've seen Daniel Farker's sides do so impressively in the Championship in the past. He's won the Championship title twice with Norwich City, of course, Daniel Farker, and you wonder how much that sort of experience will come into play in the final 3 games, including this one for Leeds, who lead 2-1.
Yeah, I think that Daniel Farke has been calm in the most excitable moments, and I think that's key. I do think, and he described Leeds as an emotional club, and I know what he means, and it's up to him to be the calm, because he actually, they've worked like clockwork for particularly in 2024, and they look like they're the team that are going to be one of the 2 that goes up. And it's how then they cope with the wobble, and they've done all right tonight so far.
He started 2024 Leeds by winning 37 of the 39 available points. As the ball goes out of play for a goal kick to Middlesbrough, away to the left-hand side, and goalkeeper Dieng, they're dressed in an all-black kit, will take it. Forward to Clark, and Middlesbrough look to build from the defensive third. And it's 2 very good footballing sides going head-to-head tonight, isn't it, Lucy?
Yeah, I agree, and it's who's got that little bit of magic in the final third. And I think Leeds, Patrick Bamford has been under severe pressure in recent games, and you know he's been cheered off after he's been substituted because he's not played that well, but he keeps coming back, and that's the thing about him. He's such a resilient player that he keeps coming back and eventually scoring the goals.
The first goal in 7 matches for Patrick Bamford tonight, and that's the one that has turned it around for Leeds so far this evening. A long way still to go, 27.5 minutes gone. Leeds heading up to second in the Championship, so Leicester would have to wait longer to try and confirm promotion. If Leeds lose, Leicester would be able to do that potentially if they were to beat Southampton tomorrow. And tomorrow we also turn our attentions back to the Premier League title race. The current leaders Arsenal take on Chelsea on Talksport. Wednesday night, the Merseyside derby, Everton against Liverpool. Liverpool only behind Arsenal on goal difference. And at 8 o'clock, Manchester United, after that incredible FA Cup semi-final win over Coventry, take on Sheffield United here on Talksport 2. Thursday evening, Brighton against Manchester City, who have the title race in their hands. That's on Talksport. You've got to download the app at this stage of the season to be across everything. Bamford's gone down for Leeds. Nothing given by the referee. Daniel Farke, arms outstretched. Bamford gets to his feet as Somerville gets possession for Leeds on the halfway line. Quickly wide right to Byram. Byram is 10 yards into the Middlesbrough half. Middlesbrough with all 10 in red back behind the ball, and Leeds go back to goalkeeper Meslier, all in green. It sort of feels like the game is finally settling down.
Just a little bit. Somerville's gone over to that right-hand side. I think he fancies his chances against Thomas, which means Nonto's come on this left-hand side. But they've certainly got, you know, when Rutter gets himself in good positions, they've certainly got that firepower. But there's just something about Middlesbrough when they've got the ball and when they sort of building up into the box, at the edge of the box, and they certainly looked good. They've looked confident, and it wasn't for those defensive mistakes, you know, that have probably gifted, you know, the penalty and the goal for Bamford was really gifted by Middlesbrough.
So it's 2-1 to Leeds on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get tasty rewards points. 18 plus, terms and conditions apply. Azaz down the left for Middlesbrough. Infield to Latte Lap. He's on the edge of the area in a central position. Latte Lap gets his shot in and beats Meslier. The goalkeeper got a hand to it. He couldn't keep it out. And Emmanuel Latte Lap has scored again. He slides on his knees in celebration in front of the Middlesbrough fans. It's his 8th goal in 10 appearances, and Illan Meslier will feel he could have done much better with it. The Leeds United goalkeeper. Leeds are pegged back, and the pendulum in this remarkable first half has swung again. Middlesbrough 2, Leeds 2.
Tell you what, Finn Azaz on that left-hand side just let the ball run across him. It was actually, they won it high up the pitch, let the ball run across him, gets it across to Azaz. I'm not joking, there's 5 Leeds players in front of Latte Lad and the goalkeeper, and he still manages to score a goal. I think, you know, we've seen some great attacking work tonight, but we've also seen some really poor defensive work, closing him down on the edge of the area. It's Ampadu, he sort of faked a shoot and then took it really quickly, and Meslier must have not been able to see because he got a hand to it, but there's no way that Latte Laf should have scored from there.
You're right, Lucy. Latte Laf converged upon by white shirts, but still
Great finish for him. Took it early, but Meslier will look back at that and think, how on earth have I let that in? And the defenders, just 4 or 5 of them in front of him.
Incredible determination. Meslier, big hand to the ball, but it nestled in the far corner, and it's 2-2.
I'll tell you what, they're not going to lie down, Middlesbrough. They're not just going to go, well, we're not going to finish in the playoffs, so we'll just sort of ease our way into the summer. They're particularly up for this game, and I think they showed that by coming back from 2-1 down.
And you can hear how much it means to the Middlesbrough fans.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of Leeds fans here, so there's already the banter going between, and Leeds fans were loud 2 times that Leeds scored a goal and thought they were on top, and I think Borough found the voice now.
So Middlesbrough's number 9 has levelled the match up. The Championship's hottest property of late since early March, but here come Leeds again with Ruter, and both teams look capable of scoring every time they come forward. Byram on the overlap, swings it across to the edge of the penalty area. It was arcing away from goal, that delivery from Byram, not his best, and Middlesbrough win it back, and Jones can go on the diagonal, right to left to the far side, and Silvera's taken it down, driving up the left-hand side for Middlesbrough, held up by Roden. Silvera darts in field, he's played it square, 20 yards to Finnez on the edge of the D. Low shot is blocked, cleared away by Ampadu. Leeds look very open defensively there, and Bamford's given it back to Middlesbrough again. Slide tackle from Ruter is a fair one on Silvera. Well, this is exactly what the Championship is all about, and if this is what we're going to start the week with on Monday night, we've got a treat coming our way across the next 12 days, the final 12 days of the season, Lucy.
Yeah, this is like a basketball game. It's like both teams have been saying, right, you've got 30 seconds once you win the ball back to go and score. And what Leeds are doing, that's not good for Leeds. Leeds to be calmer. They need some sort of composed possession. They're the away team, but they keep giving the ball away and allowing Middlesbrough through, and what's happening, because Silvera's playing well, because Azaz's playing well, because Jones is playing well, and obviously their rotation is excellent, their passing is brilliant towards the final third, and they're really going to hurt Leeds if Leeds allow them through.
We've only had 33 minutes and it's 2-2. Silvera dinks it up the middle, header away by Roden on the cover, and it's Roden again getting in front of Howson for Leeds to feed Gray. Gray just shy of the halfway line, quickly on to Somerville now. Both teams attacking with a relentless and reckless abandon here. Somerville goes on the outside of Dijksteel, who's trying to track back at him. Dijksteel finally pokes out a leg, gets a tackle in. Leeds throw, level with the edge of the 18-yard area. You've got to keep it. Talksport and Talksport 2 between now and the end of the season. All of the drama in the EFL. We're the only place to hear exclusive commentaries. Nonto trying to burst into the Middlesbrough box, and almost deafening ironic cheers as the offside flag goes up on that far side.
Yeah, we're just getting to the 35th minute, and it's just absolutely flown by, hasn't it, Joe? It's end to end. There's quality, the defensive mistakes. It's got absolutely everything. It's a really high intensity from both sets of players, and can they keep it going?
Well, the most points won by a team finishing second in the Championship over the last 19 seasons has been 93. I think it may have to be more than that this season.
Absolutely.
Here is O'Brien for Middlesbrough, over the halfway line and darting from a centre position out to the left to find Thomas, and then O'Brien intelligently asks for it back, but he's robbed the possession by Ruter, who streaks over halfway, plays a good reverse ball with his left foot to the right, and Nonto with his exquisite dribbling skills and impressive pace, jinking beyond initially Thomas, and then he was tripped by the retreating Latte Lath.
I'll tell you what, he worked so hard. Latte Lath, he defended into the right back, he defended and recovered for Nonto, and then ran across the back of him and just dragged his arm enough for Nonto to be off balance and go down. I think that he's going to be a yellow card, but he certainly works so hard. I mean, he probably dilutes himself, to be honest. He needs to stay up front, but great work ethic.
You are right, Lucy, it was a yellow card for Latte Lath, and a free kick that Middlesbrough have to defend here. Leeds United, who have now dropped out of the top 2 after conceding that equaliser to make it 2-2, so Leeds down to third, a point behind Ipswich in second. They have a free kick 6-7 yards from the corner of the penalty area, right hand side. Ilya Gruev to float it in, left footed, punched away by Seni Dieng, the Middlesbrough goalkeeper, through a crowd. Now it's come back out to the near side, the left. Right in front of our commentary position is Willie Nonto. Nonto wide left to Firpo, who's set up one goal already. He's whipped it into the area. Bamford trying to bring it down with his body facing away from goal. It's steered upfield, thumped away by Dijksteel. all the way back to the Leeds goalkeeper Meslier, who is was the only player in Leeds territory for a second there.
Absolutely frantic. None of the players can take a breath. It's just end to end. It's high intensity. It's fantastic to watch.
Not great if you're a lover of great defending, but if you're an attacking purist, it's been an absolute delight the first 36 minutes on Talksport 2. Middlesbrough took the lead. Leeds then pegged them back. Middlesbrough have since equalised, and the two sides have shared 4 goals, 2-2.
I think the fact that the game's frantic is suiting Middlesbrough better, because they keep the discipline when they get the ball up the pitch, and they can really hurt Leeds when they win it back. I think that end-to-end nature is not helping Leeds as the away team.
So at the moment, Leicester 91 points, Ipswich 89, Leeds 88. Leeds will have played a game more. I mean, realistically, all three, Leicester are already on 91 points, but all three will end up over 90, and one will have to miss out and go into the playoffs.
It'll be tough, Joe, because, they've been at it, all three of them, for the majority of this season, and then all of a sudden one of them is going to finish third, or one of them going to finish out of the automatic places, and it's how the teams respond. At the moment, they're all going for it. We've got 3 games left. Can we get as many points? Can we get in there? But the one who finished third, it's just going to be a come down, and it's how they respond to that.
Southampton in 4th, 84 points, but I think after defeat to Cardiff City at the weekend, 5 points off the top 2, Southampton are pretty much discounted now, even if it is technically mathematically possible. And in fact, Southampton do have to play Leicester tomorrow night live on Talksport 2, and Leeds on the last day. Yeah,
they'll want to still keep playing well, just in case it is them in the playoffs. Southampton, I think that Cardiff result did it for them, and the couple of results in the last sort of couple of months has not helped Southampton. But it's about getting momentum at this time of the season, and starting to win games so that you're ready for the playoffs, if that's the route that you go in.
Well, not all of the defending is necessarily the highest quality in the Championship, but for entertainment, there aren't too many better leagues. As Meslier clatters the ball downfield for Leeds, a heavy back pass from Thomas to the feet of his goalkeeper, Seni Dieng, who is very calm with his control, and it's Dieng's clearance high up to the halfway line now. And Howson is beaten to it by Archie Gray of Leeds United. Somerville feeds Gray with a quick pass. Gray's tearing forward to the edge of the box. Somerville wants it. He's got his back to goal. He's turned away and slipped it to Nonto. That is a magnificent Leeds United goal. Football of pure quality from Daniel Farke's Leeds United, from start to finish. Gray to Somerville, his turn and threaded pass, the reverse ball to Nonto was absolutely exquisite, and then Nonto rifled it home. Leeds United are turning on the style here at the Riverside, and they're back in front and back into second place as it stands. Middlesbrough 2, Leeds 3. That's one of the best goals of the Championship season, surely.
Yeah, that's brilliant. It was Johnny Howson that lost it, and it looks like he was offside. Nonto, he is offside. My word, and the assistant referee hasn't seen that. We talk about VAR, that would have certainly been cancelled, that goal, but the quality of it, the strength of Archie Gray running through the middle when he picked the ball up from Howson, and Nonto just ventured offside. He'd just gone beyond. The appeal for it, Borough, but I don't know what the assistant referee's looking, but what an absolutely fantastic finish from Nonto.
Well, seesaw match again here in the Championship, and it's Leeds who lead 3-2, almost unbelievably. Surely the message from both head coaches is going to be partly about tightening up defensively in the second half. But I have to say, two of the stars of the Leeds season, Gray and Somerville, proved exactly why with their parts in that mesmeric Leeds United goal. But they've still got lots of time to play here. We are only 5 minutes from the end of the first half, and lots of defending to do, no doubt, for Leeds as they win a throw in their left back position, and the Leeds supporters are in joyous celebration on the far side of the field. They're back up to second. Well, I don't know, Lucy Ward, maybe we just forget about the league table for now, because who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, that is not going to be the last goal of the game, that's for sure. And I think, from a Leeds point of view, brilliant. From a Borough point of view, they'll be gutted when they see that back. I think there was a little bit of daylight between him and the defenders, Nonto, but without VAR, what can he do?
Nonto's taken it off the toes of Silvera. Nonto through the middle, and Bamford is onside. He's in! Good save by Dieng. Ruter can't get to the rebound. Turned behind by Dijksteel. Leeds nearly scored 2 in 2 minutes. Bamford a little nonchalant with his attempt at a finish, but a good save by Dieng anyway. And now it's gone behind for a Leeds corner. What a game. 3-2 Leeds.
Yeah, they're just overpowering Middlesbrough, which they hadn't really done in that central midfield. Patrick Bamford needed to make sure, but it's a terrific save from Dieng, but that should have been the fourth.
And here comes Somerville to take the corner. Leeds Player of the Year, Championship Player of the Year, Crescencio Somerville. He's already scored one tonight, one of the three for Leeds United. 3-2 in front. And Somerville to take the corner, right-footed into the six-yard box. Clark with a good header away for Middlesbrough. Good height and distance on that for the left-back position, and Jones will scamper forward now and pop it up the far side touchline towards Azaz. Roden came across, and Roden
is lucky there.
Roden. A decision from the referee, but maybe Azaz should have been allowed to play on.
I tell you what, I think he tripped over himself there, Roden, and he was away. Azaz has been really impressive. Finn Azaz, who's sort of playing just behind the striker, involved in everything positive that Middlesbrough do.
Well, look, whatever happens tonight, regardless for Leicester fans, Leicester-Southampton tomorrow is going to be a cracker as well. Talksport 2 at 8. Then Friday night for our next EFL commentary, Leeds at QPR. And then on Saturday, Ipswich away at Hull. So we're with the top three pretty much every game between now and the end of the season. Leicester 91 points, Leeds 90, Ipswich 89 as it stands, but Leeds will have played a game more.
Well, Leeds' strength is when they regain possession and they transition quick counter, because they've got the players to do it, and I think that's how they scored the second and third goals, and that's important that they got the hang of it. They weren't benefiting from the chaos of the game, but then they sort of turned that in their favour.
Forward by Van den Berg for Middlesbrough over the halfway line. Good close control by Azaz, and Jones bursting onto it, got tremendous pace, so too is Ampadu to see it back to goalkeeper Meslier. Jones lightning quick on the near side of the right. Mellier's clearance hangs up in the air, and Bamford has turned away from Dijksteel. He's knocked it left to Somerville. Somerville attacking into the penalty area. Somerville beyond Clark. Clark gets a tackle in at the last moment. It looked like Somerville had jinked past him. This
is like the last 5 minutes of both teams trying to get the winner in a game, and it's absolutely just happened for the whole of the half.
Yes, it's like the last 5 minutes of the season, or the last 90 seconds as it is now, of normal time. 3-2 Leeds away at Middlesbrough. And here is O'Brien bringing the ball down. No sense of calm about either team, certainly not defensively, and just a total...
I think there was 5 goals in the return. I think at Ellen Road, I think there was 5 goals in the first half. I'm sure there was. Lots of goals anyway.
Total excitement in terms of the attacking play. Azaz has threaded the ball left to the far side, and Silvera now. Silvera suddenly darts infield to the corner of the area, onto his right foot. He thought about checking back, goes for goal, and it's well gathered by Meslier, because that took a big bounce in front of the Leeds goalkeeper, possibly a slight deflection on it. He did well to hold on to that.
Yeah, I mean, he has looked a little bit wobbly, Meslier, but again, it's good build-up, and Silvera this time, who comes in, it's better defending, and anybody could have got a touch, put that past Meslier, and he actually did well in the end.
Leeds tonight gunning for their 27th league win of the season, and that would mean that only Leicester City had won more matches in the Championship so far this year. Gruev for Leeds, wearing number 44. Gruev, the Bulgarian, sitting in front of that back four for Leeds, but there's been very little defending going on tonight.
Absolutely zero defending, which is what's made it very exciting. Both teams are intent on attacking as soon as they get the ball.
Daniel Farker and Michael Carrick can't really be enjoying it
absolutely
from a coach's point of view.
Yeah, absolutely, because all the game plan in terms of out of possession stuff has just gone out of the window. You know, neither team have particularly defended that well, and I think that's why it's been such a spectacle for everybody watching.
6 minutes to go in the first half, 6 minutes of added time. And
where have they got 6 minutes from? It's just been...
we just want more,
absolutely
don't we? We
frantic.
just don't want it to end.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
It doesn't seem to have gone out of play that much. I mean, there's been a few free kicks, so that's about it. But 6 minutes, is just the referees enjoying it.
A few Middlesbrough fans nipping to the concourse areas ahead of half-time. It was a little chilly before kick-off, but everybody's warmed up now. Great turn by Silvera, midway inside the Leeds half. Square ball to Jones, corner of the penalty area. Jones touches it onto Dijksteel, who pulls it back across, and sliding in his Firpo with a brave block to divert the ball away from Middlesbrough throw. And Daniel Farke is screaming at the near side touchline at his Leeds players, and he turns away in anger. The Leeds United head coach, the German. Zazaz has the ball for Middlesbrough. He's 25 yards out, right of centre. Bamford slips and then makes a terrible tackle as a result, and that was a very clumsy challenge and a yellow card. It all came from a slip. It was like he was ice skating and had lost his footing or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's a poor challenge from Bamford. Like you say, I think it's from a slip, but he's given a free kick to Middlesbrough, probably about 10 yards away from the edge of the area, where really there weren't any threat at that point. I think they got themselves set, Leeds, defensively, and then Finn Azaz, stood on Finn Azaz's ankle. That looked a sore one, but he seems all right. He looks like he's going to take the free kick. Really impressed with Finn Azaz. I think he's having a terrific season.
His momentum took him straight into the back of Azaz's Achilles almost, and thankfully the young Irishman who's joined the club from Aston Villa, joined in January and has played every league game since arriving at Middlesbrough, is standing over the free kick. He did have a loan spell at Plymouth earlier this season. Now it's 25 yards out, right of centre. I wonder whether he'll go for goal here, Azaz. It's about a 5-6 yard run up. He dinks it high into the box to the far post, headed away. Good header away by Byron for Leeds United, and Nonto completes the clearance out of play, but there are still 4 minutes remaining after a wonderful and absolutely mesmerising first half. Middlesbrough 2, Leeds United 3, so Leeds are second as it stands in the Championship. They've been yo-yoing up and down the table throughout this half.
It's been really good to watch, but I cannot see this going on into the second half. I can't see both coaches allowing a basketball game, particularly Leeds. They've got themselves in front, and Daniel Farke will want to stay that way and maybe tighten up a bit at the back.
Well, when Leeds attack like this, you can't believe they failed to score against both Blackburn and Sunderland. As that crossfield ball to the Middlesbrough right reaches Azaz on the edge of the area, dances away from one challenge and then attempts to pull it back. It's blocked off by Ampadu, gets a high five from his goalkeeper and from Firpo as well, but Middlesbrough have their fifth corner. We are halfway through, 6 added at the end of the first half, and Middlesbrough are 3-2 down at home.
You can't get a grip of Azaz.
And it's going to be his delivery, right footed to the near post, not a good one, headed away by Ruter. It drops out to Lewis O'Brien to strike, and his effort thundering towards goal, but turned away by Ampadu for Leeds United through a crowd. It would have had to beat just about 20 bodies to reach Meslier there.
I wouldn't like to guess what the final score is. I can't see that the second half is going to produce as many goals, but Middlesbrough just look threatening, Joe, don't they?
Yeah.
They obviously Leeds have got the firepower they've got, but they're quite measured in the way they get up around the box. Middlesbrough.
This is why Middlesbrough are the Championship's form team. Silvera from 25 yards, and it flashes well wide in the end. Opened up nicely for Sam Silvera, who's a difficult player, isn't he, Lucy? Because he can go on the outside, or he can come back infield, as he has done on a number of occasions, and the Australian not able to find the target there.
Yeah, a couple of times now he's come inside Silvera, and he's not closed down, and I think it was Ampadu there saying you've got to engage at the edge of it. It's all right defending the edge of your box, but you have to engage to play with the ball, and it's something that Leeds haven't done yet.
Daniel Farke, stern-faced, edge of the technical area, arms folded. He should be used to it, really, because we saw lots of these kind of games when he was the Norwich manager.
Yeah, I mean, talked about the technical area being a lonely place.
It certainly is at the moment, but he'll certainly be happy with the scoreline. Leeds lead 3-2, 90 seconds of first half added time to go, and the ball is with Thomas in the left back position for Middlesbrough. Back it goes to Clark, the centre half, square ball to Vandenberg, who's only 19 years of age, the Dutch under-21 international. Vandenberg with the long red sleeve shirt on, looks for Dijksteel on the overlap on the near side, the right, but Firpo sweeps it away for Leeds to the halfway line. Now Howson touches it onto O'Brien. Back to Vandenberg again. Little one-touch play for Middlesbrough. Neat triangular passing as O'Brien rolls it to the feet of Clark, and he steers the ball left. Thomas maybe wasn't expecting that, the Leicester-Loney, but he kept it in play deep inside the Leeds half on the left wing position. Now Silvera making a run in field again. We have 30 seconds of the first half to go. Leeds just need to see out the remaining stoppage time. 3-2 in front. Silvera, the number 18, wide to Thomas again in front of the Leeds fans. Everybody in white back behind the ball here for Leeds United, and what will put the fear into Middlesbrough is the pace with which Leeds can counter-attack if they can win it back. O'Brien, crossfield left to right for Middlesbrough to find Jones. Back in field to Dijksteel. Dijksteel now to the feet of Van den Berg. Middlesbrough urge forward, a little bit of impatience in the stands from the home supporters around us. We've had the 6 minutes of added time at the end of the first half, and Leeds with Ruter almost seizing upon a mistake on the halfway line, but Van den Berg slides in to win it back. And the referee has blown the whistle for half-time. Ruter has gone down, and Leeds will be concerned about that. And in fact, the Leeds players are having words with the referee, Tony Harrington, not at all happy with the challenge of Van den Berg. And Ruter certainly has a problem as the two Leeds physios dart on. So we'll keep an eye on that. But what a classic half
Brilliant.
Of Championship football. 5 goals, 3 of them for Leeds United, who are heading second in the division. A seesaw first 45 where the pendulum swung time and time again, not just in the game, but in the context, of course, of that mad dash to get promotion to the Premier League. Isaiah Jones gave Middlesbrough an early lead. Crescencio Somerville from the penalty spot equalised for Leeds United before Patrick Bamford put them in front against his old club. It was 2-2 thanks to Emmanuel Latte-Lath. But Willy Gnonto with a goal of the game so far, and I say so far because you get the sense there could be much more to come. Ruter back on his feet, he'll limp off the field. What a half of football. Middlesbrough 2, Leeds 3.
The Championship could easily be the most entertaining, most unpredictable, and simply the craziest league in the world. We got one hell of a game, live in exclusive EFL action here on Talksport 2. Lucy Ward, that was a remarkable 45 minutes.
Honestly, it's mad. And I looked at the clock for the first time, and I think it was 20 odd minutes, and I just wondered where it had all gone. I think that obviously Leeds' intent is to come here and get 3 points. Middlesbrough just thinking, well, we may as well go for it, and so neither have really paid that much attention in protecting the centre backs. They've both made mistakes defensively, but shown the quality in attack, and we've seen goals, and we've seen an offside goal, we've seen lots of goals. Referees actually letting the game flow, and it's been wonderful.
Yeah, who needs VAR? This is a lesson for the Premier League, I'm sure.
Well,
because
Borough fans won't be saying that, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, that's one point, yeah, because let's start there, shall we? Willy Gnonto getting Leeds third. That was a big error.
Yeah, it was, but I just think in these games it sort of ebbs and flows, doesn't it? And Borough will probably get some sort of decision somewhere along the line. But, I just think that the chaos and how chaotic the game was actually suited Borough for a lot of that first half until Leeds got a grip of that central area so that they chose the right moments and where to attack Borough, because Borough lost the ball in central midfield a couple of times for the second and third goal, and I think that's been the difference, just to edge Leeds in front of it going into half-time.
It was an awful start for Leeds, really, in terms of conceding first. Emmanuel Latte-Lath looked like he was going to get his shot off. He was brought down, and it was tapped home into a virtually empty net by Isaiah Jones. At that point in time, really, it was kind of, Leeds fans thinking the worst possible scenario, which is a defeat at Middlesbrough, and they managed to respond very, very quickly. Let's kind of put those 2 goals together, because it was a silly foul by Dijksteel on Ruter, and it was willfully dispatched by Somerville from the penalty spot. Yeah,
I think it's been littered with a little bit of quality going forward and defensive mistakes, and obviously that makes the game particularly sort of entertaining, and making defensive, giving a penalty away when you're in that position where you've managed to get a goal, even though you've sort of withstood a bit of pressure at the start of the game. Middlesbrough got the goal and then conceded that one. It'll be disappointing for Middlesbrough, but they haven't had chance, neither team, to take a breath, and I think that's been the key. And as the away team, I'm not sure that particularly suits Leeds.
Dieng and Watmo didn't commit. Not that they're in a relationship, obviously. They didn't commit to the cross. They should have dealt with it. Bamford got there. He did commit.
Yeah.
And, he got his rewards in the end.
Yeah, just being in that right position, though, Hugh. I mean, the goalkeeper should have taken absolutely everything out there, because if he'd have got the ball and taken Bamford out, that it would not have been a foul. It would have just been the goalkeeper sort of claiming the cross. But it was a little bit of indecision. Bamford probably got a little bit lucky, just trying to get something on it. I think it hit his chest, or I didn't see the replay properly. But, at that stage, it's, Leeds get themselves in front when Middlesbrough had actually done all right to get to make it 1-0. But Leeds doing what they typically do, encourage Middlesbrough onto them. Middlesbrough get a bit carried away, and then they hit them, and they are so good. Probably the best team in the division at hitting teams on transition.
Latte Lath got the equaliser for Middlesbrough in the game. It was 2-2 at that time. Great strike, maybe questions asked over the goalkeeper at the other end, Ilham Meslier. What did you think?
Yeah, I think there's just something about Meslier where he might flap at crosses that, we saw it in a corner where he went under his crossbar. He does something amazing and then lets in a really, really easy goal. But what I would say, and I think Ampadu sort of reinforced that they're not really engaging Middlesbrough when Middlesbrough on the edge of the box. So it allowed Latte Lath to have that shot. There's probably 4 defenders plus the goalkeeper in front of him. So there's no way he should have scored from that. It wasn't even in the corners, but obviously adds to the entertainment, and Middlesbrough get back in it.
It's been thoroughly entertaining. We'll look ahead to the second half very shortly, but the Riverside is well up for this. Lucy, thank you. 3 games without a win before today for Leeds. It has been end to end. They've got their noses in front, and as it stands, they're going to nudge themselves into the top 2. Utterly breathless. The fight for automatic promotion could well take another twist. It is all to play for at the break, live on Talksport 2, Middlesbrough 2, Leeds 3.
EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Fancy a filet fish in time for the final whistle? Order McDelivery now on the McDonald's app and get tasty reward points delivered too. 18 plus. Rewards account required. Participating restaurants. Subject to availability. Delivery fees and terms apply.
So many small cars to choose from. This one looks like that one, which looks like... Hang on. The new Suzuki Swift. This is the one.
Yep, standard reaction to the new Suzuki Swift, which comes with serious style, a choice of cool colours, and loads of tech as standard. Oh, and it's available with 0% APR for 2 years. Want to be one of the first behind the wheel? Search Suzuki Swift to book your test drive and get set to feel good different. Participating dealers only. Suzuki Financial Services Limited. T's and C's apply. See cars.suzuki.co.uk/offers.
Not everything in golf makes sense, but buying pre-owned clubs does. We're Golf Bidder, an official partner of the PGA that helped millions of golfers over the last 25 years find quality and affordable clubs to improve their game. So while you may not always trust your swing, you can trust our clubs. Golf is difficult. Buying great value pre-owned clubs isn't. Browse thousands of premium clubs and use code TALKSPORT5 for 5% off at golfbidder.co.uk.
At Lidl, we're always big on quality and little on price. With super-powered savings on all your weekly staples, fresh deals on your 5-a-day, and big brands that don't break the bank. You could save over £35 by switching from Sainsbury's to Lidl with this week's big shop at lidl.co.uk/save. Prices check 15th of April 24. Sainsbury's also sell other products. See online for more details.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the EFL. Wednesday night, the Premier League live on Talksport 2.
Oh, that's magnificent!
More games than ever.
Manchester United versus Sheffield United.
Coverage from 7, kick-off 8 p.m.
That is brilliant.
Wednesday night on Talksport 2.
It's a sensational goal!
Night goals cometh. Talksport 2. The Social with Adi Oladipo and Rory Jennings. Tomorrow afternoon from 3 on Talksport 2. Outspoken opinions and decisive debate following all the action.
We talk about football in a bipartisan and educated way. Well, I do at least.
I try.
News, views, fun and football fixtures.
It's not just football though. Bit of boxing, bit of horse racing, even a bit of rugby.
And it's a try!
And some phenomenal guests.
If you can't get in this squad after showing the form he showed, I don't think it looks too good for him.
This is the place to be.
It's Addy and Rory. It's The Social on Talksport 2.
What a goal!
The Social. Tomorrow afternoon from 3.
It just works, doesn't it? On Talksport 2.
The Women's Football Show with Leanne Sanderson.
On Talksport 2.
Every Monday night, I'll bring you unbiased analysis of the entire women's game.
The left-footed delivery comes in, it's fantastic! It's gone into the back of the net! Well-beating big match conversation.
And big-name interviews every week.
I think you feel like you've got a lot of time and then suddenly you're just in it.
It's the only dedicated women's football show on UK radio.
That injury seems years ago now.
The Women's Football Show with Leanne Sanderson.
Tonight from 10 on Talksport 2, the home of women's football.
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
This is an absolutely crucial night in the second tier. Just 3 games to go in the race for promotion. Leeds have given it away though. Tap forward by Azaz. Latte is in and he's bundled over. Jones tucks in the rebound anyway. Middlesbrough lead. Ruter darting down the left, the assist king for Leeds United. He's into the area, tripped by Dyke, steal penalty. Had to be a penalty kick. Somerville, massive moment in the race for promotion. Then he curves his run up, right-footed, into the corner beyond the diving goalkeeper. Midway inside the Middlesbrough half, forward to Firpo again. Firpo dangerous cross, Bamford bundles it in. Patrick Bamford against his old club. Azaz down the left for Middlesbrough. Infield to Latte. He's on the edge of the area in a central position. Latte gets his shot in and beats Meslier. The goalkeeper got a hand to it. He couldn't keep it out. Somerville feeds Gray with a quick pass. Gray's tearing forward to the edge of the box. Somerville wants it. He's got his back to goal. He's turned away and slipped it to Nonto. That is a magnificent Leeds United goal.
Looks like he was offside. Nonto, he is offside. My word, and the assistant referee hasn't seen that. We talk about VAR, that would have certainly been cancelled, that goal.
Well, this is exactly what the championship is all about. And if this is what we're going to start the week with on Monday night.
What a match we've been treated to so far on Talksport 2. 1-0 Borough, 1-1, 2-1 Leeds, 2-2, and then 3-2 Leeds. And it has had just about everything. Live and exclusive EFL Championship action here. Sees Leeds heading into the top 2 in the table for now. And there will be a long way to go in this one. But as it stands, they move a point ahead of Ipswich Town, having played a game more. They're just a point behind the leaders, Leicester City, again, having played a game more. But there will be, I'm sure, more drama at the Riverside. The second half coming up on the way. Very busy week for you across the Talksport network. Live football from the Premier League. Live and exclusive action, in fact, coming your way tomorrow evening on Talksport as Arsenal look to continue their title fight up against a familiar rival in Chelsea as we bring you a good and proper London derby.
Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 2, Ollie Watkins. It's advantage Man City in the Premier League title race.
Did we really expect them to go and win the Champions League? That is that, and Arsenal are out. What a terrible, terrible week for the Gunners.
You want to play at this level, you're going to have these moments. Time to stand up and make yourself count.
Odegaard again scores. The captain finishes it off. And Arsenal are back on top of the Premier League table.
Do they get over the line? Can they still win the league? Yeah, they can.
Manchester City have bounced back to knock Chelsea out of the FA Cup.
I think always the team show good quality. The problem is to be consistent.
Palmer! He's done it! A hat-trick! Chelsea win!
I don't think you can actually judge any manager who went into Chelsea this year. It's just been a mess.
Live on Talksport, your home of live football.
Well, let's hear from both managers ahead of that game. Shortly, we're going to hear from the Chelsea manager, Mauricio Pochettino, on the form of striker Nicholas Jackson, who's come under fire for his performances recently. But first, let's hear from Arsenal's Mikel Arteta. He believes his players are starting to feel burnt out.
I don't know. When I see them this morning, I had to stop them because winning as well is a big boost of energy. And after the performance against Wolves and winning and having to play a London derby tomorrow, everybody's ready for it. Something else is, yes, the amount and the volume of those games. It's not the moment for us to look at that. We have to think in a positive way and feel and think that we are fresh to perform the best possible way.
He's doing an amazing job for the team, running, scoring goal, giving assists, and I think it's his first season. And a young guy coming from Spain, even with not too much experience there, I think he's doing fantastic. Like we were talking, always I said, if we wanted that the player match the icon players here, or the idol like Drogba, if we compare with Drogba, yes, always he's going to lose. But if we split the history of the club with the team and the performance of the team and the performance of Jackson, I think he's doing fantastic. He's going to have all my support, because even if he no score in the way that he is fighting for the club, fighting for the teammate, for the team, and producing sometimes chances, he alone, and then of course he needs time to improve. Yes, he's going to be better next season for sure.
The soap opera continues in the Premier League this season with Arsenal against Chelsea in the Premier League tomorrow exclusively on Talksport. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff. We'll kick off at the same time here on Talksport 2 tomorrow as Leicester host Southampton. Could be a massive game. In fact, it could be a Leicester promotion party if Leeds are beaten this evening. On Wednesday night on the Talksport app exclusively, we'll have Wolves against Bournemouth. Also, Crystal Palace against Newcastle, and on TalkSport you'll hear Everton against Liverpool in the Merseyside derby. Manchester United against Sheffield Wednesday will be live and exclusive here on TalkSport 2. And on Thursday on TalkSport, I'll bring you Manchester City's trip to face Brighton. Friday night here, we're back to Championship action. I'll also bring you Queen's Park Rangers against Leeds. So plenty to sink your teeth into on a jam-packed midweek of football across the Premier League and the EFL as well. Let's head back to the Riverside now, shall we? The players preparing for the second half. Lucy Ward alongside Joe Shennan. And Lucy, I just want to ask you what you think this second half could well produce.
Yeah, I don't particularly think there'll be as many goals as there were in the first half. I think that Leeds are just bringing Middlesbrough onto them and waiting for them to come forward and then hitting them on the break. That's how the last two goals were scored. Middlesbrough need better protection of the centre-backs. The two centre midfielders need to offer a little bit more when they've not got it, and then choose their moments to get forward, because at the moment they're just being encouraged by Leeds to get forward and leave gaps at the back. But I'm impressed with Azaz. I'm impressed with Latte Laf, and I think forward, in sort of forward areas, Middlesbrough look good.
Okay, the players just about to come out of the tunnel. Remember, Leeds United, if they can hold on, will be going into the top two in the Championship table. It has been a breathless first half, end to end. We've had heavy tackles going in, and that, I think you'll hear is, well, firstly, the Leeds players coming out, but then shortly after, I'm sure, the officials, because a couple of heavy challenges went in. One on Finn Azaz, one on Jorginho Ruta just before the end of the half. Nothing given for either. Maybe we will see more of that aggression in the second half. Hopefully more goals as well. I'll leave you with the former Leeds women's forward, Lucy Ward, who's alongside Joe Shennan.
Well, we've already been treated to 5 goals, 3 of which have gone to Leeds United, and they lead Middlesbrough by 3 goals to 2 as the second half begins. Middlesbrough from right to left, all in red. Leeds from left to right, all in white. No changes at half-time for either side, as Middlesbrough win the ball back in their right-back position with Dijksteel, Van den Berg, Clark and Thomas. The rest of the back four, Dieng is in goal. Howson and O'Brien are the holding players, with Jones, Azaz and Silvera in support of Latte Laf up front. And for Leeds United, the goalkeeper is Meslier, Byram, Roden, Ampadu and Firpo are the centre-halves, with the midfield two of Gray and Gruev, and Nonto, Ruter and Somerville in support of Patrick Bamford up front. Will the game settle down in the second half? Will defences start to defend? Precious little defending in the first 45, but certainly bags of entertainment, as is so often the case in the Championship. We are high up at the back of the West Stand here at the Riverside, to the left of the halfway line, so inside the half that Middlesbrough are attacking in the second 45. And here is O'Brien for them. Their 9-game unbeaten run is under threat. Midway inside Leeds territory finds the very lively Latte Laf, who has now scored 15 for the season and could be very exciting next year. In particular, the former Atalanta player. Middlesbrough have dominated possession in the first 90 seconds or so of the second half. Daniel Farke and Michael Carrick, the two head coaches, almost side by side on the touchline, both dressed in black. And I think certainly we expect a tighter second half. Here's Thomas though for Middlesbrough, crossing left-footed, headed away by Roden. It'll drop down to Howson, formerly of Leeds United, finds Silvera on the edge of the box, looks to wriggle in field from the left. Back out wide to Howson again, and he and Silvera exchange neat little 5-yard square passes. Leeds with everybody in white back behind the ball. Here is Van den Berg just at the lip of the centre circle. Middlesbrough enjoying a lot of possession here. Howson forward to the incoming run of Thomas on the near side, the left, the Leicester loanee. Silvera back to Howson again, and Leeds keeping quite compact at the start of the second half. Lucy Ward.
Yeah, they don't need to come out, Leeds. They can sit in this shape and then they can just burst from this shape when they win it back. Middlesbrough just trying to get some sort of space through that they can play the ball, but just giving the ball away. But I think from a coach's point of view, Middlesbrough, I don't think Michael Carrick will be happy with how open they are when they lose possession. And I think from a Leeds point of view, Daniel Farke will think, we don't have to leave those gaps now. We've got ourselves in front. Let's wait for Middlesbrough. Let's get them up the pitch. And then what Leeds have got is pace, so they can jump up to press when they've not got it. And when they do win it back, then they've got that pace to attack Middlesbrough. And we've seen them hurt them plenty of times already in this game.
I'll give you the subs for Middlesbrough. Injury hit Middlesbrough. Bangura, Jones, one of two sub-goalkeepers. Hoppy, the American. Gilbert and Barlassa complete the senior players, and then it's teenagers, McCabe, Lennon, Matthews, and the other substitute goalkeeper, Shea Connor. For Leeds, Cooper, Darlow, Gelhart, Kamara, Shackleton, Joseph, Anthony, James and Piru among the subs. A much more experienced set of substitutes for Leeds United, and some real championship know-how there as well.
Yeah, there's so much more compact at the start of this 4-4-2 block, and Middlesbrough is struggling to break through them, whereas when it was open and a basketball match in the first half, then it was just easy for each to attack when they regained possession. Now Middlesbrough have got to find a better way through, and it's probing and trying to find those spaces in behind Leeds.
3-2 Leeds lead on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. And yes, it's like a game of cat and mouse at the moment, most of it taking place inside the middle third of the field. Middlesbrough having all the possession, Leeds sitting off them as Latte Lat lays the ball square to Azaz midway inside Leeds territory. A sea of white shirts in front of Middlesbrough still. Dijksteel right of centre inside the Leeds half, finds Latte Lat. He's about a yard or so from the edge of the D. Somerville tracked him all the way in his little burst cross field from right to left, and Leeds eventually clear as they break upfield through Ampadu, hoist it towards the near side, the right, but Nonto can't keep it in play, and it's a throw to Middlesbrough in their left back position. So Leicester 91 points, 43 played. Leeds as it stands 90 from 44. Ipswich 89 from 43. We're with Leicester tomorrow at home to Southampton, Leeds at QPR on Friday, and we're with Ipswich away at Hull on Saturday evening. Here is Jones for Middlesbrough. 3-2 down against Leeds. Right hand edge of the area. Jones twisting, teasing, turning, crossing. Firpo got a block in, and the deflection, despite Leeds' protests, took it behind for a corner to Middlesbrough in front of the North stand away to our left.
Yeah, at the moment everything's been in front of Leeds that Borough have done and made them quite predictable. The first time they've got sort of into the penalty area and caused problems, and they've got themselves a corner.
Finn Azaz, so outstanding in the first half, will take it. He whips it in high right footed, swinging away from goal. Header away by Byro, nodded back in by O'Brien over the top. Dijksteel's nodded it down with his back to goal. Clever cushion header to find Vandenberg, who pulls it back to Thomas, who drills it in low. Not a convincing clearance away by Roden for Leeds. Leeds are sitting very deep in the second half so far. And O'Brien from 25 yards for Middlesbrough tries to play the ball through the sea of white shirts. Leeds scramble it clear. And here's Nonto over the halfway line towards Byram. Dijksteel gets a foot in ahead of the defender, and Middlesbrough win it back again. And it's almost as though Leeds are simply inviting Middlesbrough onto them early in the second half, and hoping that with that pace and quality on the counter, they can catch them loosely.
Yeah, because they don't need to score again, Leeds, so they can be compact to then counter. But I'm disappointed in Lewis O'Brien. Lewis O'Brien was so good at Huddersfield, and he just seems to have lost his way. I know he's coming back from an injury, but you know, in central midfield with Johnny Howson, they're not getting the better of Leeds, and it's about them when they've got possession, because they've seen a lot of the ball in this second half. Can they find a way through? But if you lose it, you've got to think of the what-ifs. Can you protect your centre-backs? Because Leeds will just break and score another, and it'll be game over.
This season is the first in a 46-game campaign in the second tier that three teams have had 87 or more points with 3 games remaining. As it stands, Leeds will move up to 90. Leading by the odd goal in 5. All Middlesbrough in terms of possession, but they haven't created any sort of opportunity in the second half so far whatsoever. Leeds sitting inside their own half the field, Middlesbrough having it largely in and around the halfway line, the centre circle area. O'Brien has been fouled, and it's a Middlesbrough free kick just inside the Leeds half. They're enjoying the current longest unbeaten run in the Championship this season. Middlesbrough not lost since early March, a run of 9 games for Michael Carrick's team, but even if they were to win tonight, I don't think they'd be able to make the playoffs realistically. Leeds clear downfield, it's up towards Somerville, who's got such electric feet, but Matt Clark is there convincingly to bring it down on his chest. Middlesbrough have it back, and the game is set up almost in total contrast to the first half.
Yeah, I told you, as soon as the head coaches get involved, then it's a different proposition now for Middlesbrough, because the onus is on them to create something. Leeds are letting them have the ball and then just looking to counter, and then what that means is that it's less chaotic. I said in the first half that chaos is not good for Leeds. Chaos was better for Middlesbrough, and now they've stopped that chaos, and Middlesbrough now have got to find different solutions.
Leeds looking for a first win since the start of this month, but here come Middlesbrough. Far side there right, O'Brien digs in a deflected cross. Meslier had to backpedal to turn it over the top. He did well, the goalkeeper, to reach that looping, spinning ball, but looked like it was going to drop underneath his crossbar and in. It's a corner.
Yeah, a great run beyond from Lewis O'Brien. That's better from the centre midfielder. And again, Leeds look all right until it gets to Meslier, and then he just judges that all wrong. In the end, he knows that he might go over, and he had to swipe it out behind.
Zaz with the corner, right-footed into the near post. Good header away by Byram through a crowd for Leeds United, who are defending well in the second half so far. We're in the 54th minute, and Ruter nearly seizing upon a short pass from Isaiah Jones. He was a long way from goal, was the 22-year-old Frenchman, and Middlesbrough in the end a little fortunate to get the throw just inside the Leeds half, and Middlesbrough will go back to the halfway line and they will look to build again. Have they got that incisiveness and refinement in their play in the final third to get beyond Leeds here?
Yeah, they need to move it quicker. They moved it quick in the first half when they had the space. They need to move it even quicker to get in behind Leeds, because Leeds are set up really well. 2 bags of 4, 2 up front, and Middlesbrough sort of a mid to low blocks on the edge of the area, and so Middlesbrough having a lot of possession but not really doing anything with it and being quite predictable, really, which is exactly what Leeds want.
It's the bearded Clark for Middlesbrough, the centre half. Left-footed crossfield ball, beautifully brought down by Azaz on his chest. Right-hand edge of the area, taking on Firpo in a one-on-one. Dinks in the cross, left-footed. Latte Lath at the back post, headed away by Byram, who was always favourite to beat Latte Lath in the air. But Latte Lath looks so full of threats in the game, the number 9.
Dynamic. Yeah, he's always wanting to be involved. He's only small, but he's really wick. He gets in front of players, gets first touch to the ball, but he's just struggling to find space at the moment.
He's packed with confidence, isn't he, Latte Lath?
He certainly is. He's played well, and just a different complexion to the game now.
Here's the challenge for Middlesbrough.
Yeah, absolutely. And those who are watching it was never going to be the same, because once the managers get hold of it, 2 teams that are leaving lots of space for each other, something was always going to change.
Dieng has hammered the ball downfield, the goalkeeper, but it spins into the gloves of his opposite number, Ilan Meslier of Leeds. Middlesbrough 2, Leeds 3. Leeds up into second at the moment. Middlesbrough, they'll have a pretty good record against the top 6 this season coming into tonight. 6 wins from 11 games. Really, if you look at Middlesbrough's season, it was the start that did them, as Meslier took way too long on the ball, the goalkeeper, and he had his clearance charged down by Latte Lat. It spins behind for a goal kick, harmlessly behind in the end. But the Leeds goalkeeper
causing
is
problems.
Capable of blunders, isn't
he? They're defending really well. 4-4-2, out of possession, letting Middlesbrough have it. Meslier is just gifting, not really opportunities, but just gifting encouragement to Middlesbrough at the moment.
Only 24, still young for a goalkeeper. And Lucy, we know that he's capable of brilliance, but he is capable of a howler out of nowhere. It's that lack of concentration that must be so maddening for Leeds United fans at times.
Yeah, I mean, he struggled. There was a period of time last season in the Premier League where he really struggled, but they didn't really have any other options. But, they'll be absolutely cursing him if he gives this sort of lead away tonight.
Halson's on the halfway line for Leeds in a tenacious battle with Ruter, and he's fouled Ruter from behind right in front of Tony Harrington, who has stood square of them, the referee, and it's a free kick to Leeds United on the halfway line. Leicester v Southampton tomorrow on Talksport 2 at the same time on Talksport. Arsenal, the Premier League leaders, take on Chelsea. Wednesday night we've got Manchester, we've got the Merseyside derby and Manchester United against Sheffield United. Thursday night, Brighton against Manchester City. Make sure you download the Talksport app to be across all the action. We've got Premier League games only on the app on Wednesday night as well. Here is Archie Gray for Leeds. Reverse ball into the feet of Nonto as Leeds break forward for the first time in the second half. They break cover almost from that defensive setup they've had. Middlesbrough smuggle it away. Clear foul by Ruter. Clip the heels of Silvera. Michael Carrick, arms outstretched, thinks that's a cynical foul and it should be a yellow.
Yeah, it did look like one. And so far it's a a mature second half performance from Leeds, but the nerves will start to jangle if there's only one goal in it, because Middlesbrough have got nothing to lose whatsoever. Will they find a way through this block of Leeds? And it's just a completely different type of game now, but still one where you can see Middlesbrough creating something for themselves.
Middlesbrough have got the ball midway inside the Leeds half, near side of the field. Thomas with the throw, back to Clark, and the pace of the game is totally different now, whereas it was utterly frenetic, chaotic and open in the first half. Now Middlesbrough have the ball, Leeds sitting in a low block in front of them, Middlesbrough being invited forward. Do they have the flair and the guile to breach this Leeds back line? Luke Thomas dinks the cross into the box from left to right, headed away by Junior Firpo, not very far as the feet of Jones, who got the scoring started for Middlesbrough in the first half, but his team now trailed 3-2. Under the lights here, with the skies very dark, visibility better than it was earlier and no rain. Leeds fans watching on the far side as Clark dinks the ball forward to Thomas for Middlesbrough. Thomas with the cross, charged down by Nonto. Middlesbrough corner, no great threat to Mellier's goal at the moment, but Middlesbrough having all the ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about inviting the pressure, that it just allows Borough to build up momentum. They're the home team, which means the crowd will get behind them, and they only need one chance really, Joe, to get themselves back in this game, and that will be then a problem for Leeds.
Zaz is going to swing this right underneath Mellier's crossbar. Sea of red shirts in front of the goalkeeper. How will he deal with it? In towards the near post, headed away. Drops down to O'Brien. He's on the edge of the D, right of centre. Somerville gets a good tackle in. Meslier, yes, there were a lot of players in front of him, but he was absolutely rooted to his line.
Yeah, I mean, that was a chance for Middlesbrough. The goalkeeper is obviously the one that's just struggling a little bit in this Leeds team, and that's the last person they need to struggle.
Van den Berg for Middlesbrough, midway inside the Leeds half. Middlesbrough must have had 80% of the possession in the second half. Dyche steals cross, flapped out and punched away by Meslier. Left-handed, and eventually it reaches Nonto, who's lost out to Thomas, who tried to burst his way into the box. His clearance, or his attempted cross rather, is charged down by Byron. Leeds smuggle it clear. Lovely ball hooked over his shoulder by Bamford towards Nonto, and then appeals for handball against Thomas. Handball given by the referee. Free kick to Leeds. Daniel Farkas now bellowing towards Tony Harrington, the referee, who has been very lenient across the course of the game if you look at some of the challenges that have gone in. But so far in the second half, so good for Leeds. 3-2 in front, and Nonto is
he's going to get booked here. He's just pushed Lewis O'Brien. I think they're going to have a word with him or he's going to book him. But I mean, there's a fine line between Leeds defending in that block and Leeds being passive, and in the last sort of 5 minutes or so of the second half they've been passive, and it's just encouraged Middlesbrough to sort of get right on top of the goal, and that's the risk that Leeds cannot take.
You have to think, can they afford to do this for half an hour more?
No, they can't. But what they're not getting is they're not getting the chance on the break, which is obviously what they're looking for, is that fourth goal to kill everything off, and they're usually looking to get that on the counter, but at the moment they're inviting pressure rather than sitting strong in a block.
Best away defence in the Championship this season, Leeds, coming into the weekend. Here is Ruter bursting over the halfway line. He can get the return ball here. Firpo from Ruter onto Somerville. Left-hand edge of the area. The Leeds fans are on their feet. Somerville onto his right foot. Curls it into the corner for a wonderful goal. It's 4 for Leeds at the Riverside, and they take a vice-like grip on this game. And Leeds United with Crescencio Somerville, he scored twice, and he celebrates in front of the 2,500 travelling fans. Hailed like a god, Crescencio Somerville. He shows how much it means to the Leeds United supporters, and Leeds strengthening their grip on second as well. It's Middlesbrough 2, Leeds 4, almost out of nothing.
Yeah, that's exactly what Leeds were playing the start of the second half, for that sort of moment where they get a little bit of space, and again Middlesbrough give the ball away in a really difficult position for them. And I think giving the ball away, what Leeds then do is they can spring, and because they've got the pace in that final third, they can spring forward really quickly, and it actually came from nothing really. Going through those central areas, 2 players went into challenge and they both missed it. It was Clark and it was O'Brien, and then Somerville doesn't need a second opportunity to have a go, and it's a great curling strike. I think, from the goalkeeper's point of view, I don't think he'll be particularly happy that his defenders didn't get closer to Somerville, but I think Middlesbrough have only got themselves to blame, giving the ball away in that middle area, and that was the moment that Leeds were waiting for.
So Leeds will have played a game more than Leicester and Ipswich, but it does look like Leeds are going to head into second spot at the very least until Saturday. And remember, Leeds could open up a further gap between themselves and Ipswich, and who knows, even Leicester, depending on how they get on against Southampton when Leeds go to QPR on Friday night on Talksport 2. 2 for Somerville and 4 for Leeds United.
It nearly didn't work out, did it, at the start of the second half for Leeds, that they were inviting the pressure from Middlesbrough, but that was the moment that Somerville wanted. A little bit of pace, Borough out of shape and making sure that he can finish, and that is exactly what he's done all season, and they just relied on that and they got the just rewards.
Somerville is being lauded by the Leeds United supporters, and why not? He's been so vital for them across the course of the season, and that's now 20 goals for the campaign. The first Leeds player to score 20 or more in a season since Chris Wood. And 4-2 to Leeds United, and Daniel Farke will look at it and think that soaking up of the Middlesbrough pressure in the second half, and Leeds have broken, and one of their key men has made it 4-2. So Farke will think, well, I was absolutely spot on.
Yeah, Middlesbrough actually are the perfect team to play Leeds to play this way.
Good reverse ball by Azazlo to set up Jones, hangs up the cross, headed away by Roden, drops down to Dijksteel on the edge of the box, smuggled away by Somerville, who's now on a hat-trick.
And what I mean by perfect team for Leeds to play is that they're not very good when they lose possession in central areas, so when they do, it just gives Leeds an opportunity to counter quickly, and they've got devastating pace in that final third. And if there's anything that's going to get Leeds into those automatic positions, it's those forward players, the likes of Somerville and the likes of Nonto, who've got that pace to get them right up the pitch.
There are Middlesbrough players and Leeds players warming up down below as Middlesbrough coming forward 4-2 down. Azaz into the area, lovely turn, great quick feet, but he should have taken the shot on before he tried to jink beyond Ampadu. That was one touch too many. Leeds managed to hack it clear up and over the halfway line. We've had 64 minutes on Talksport 2. It's Middlesbrough 2, Leeds 4, and a 2-goal cushion for Leeds United. You would think would probably be enough, though the way the championship season has gone and the way the first half went, at least here, you just can't say for certain.
No, you can't, but Finazaz there had a terrific chance. He just took 2 or 3 touches too many. He'd got himself in front of goal, but just needed to take it quickly, toe end it, whatever. But again, we're back to that. Leeds defending, and that's 4-4-2. Borough trying to break them down. Just need to be careful, Middlesbrough, that they don't concede a fifth doing this.
Jones on the corner of the penalty area, looked like he was tripped by Ruter. The referee and his assistant said no. Maybe Ruter did get a slight touch on the ball, although having looked at the monitors in our commentary position, as 2 players go head-to-head on the near side of the field, Azaz and Gray were tangling, and then they almost went face-to-face, and they just had to be pulled apart by Anthony Dijksteel. There were words exchanged between the 2 again, and the referee is going to call both over. Maybe there'll be a yellow card apiece here.
Yeah, it's just, I think Azaz just clipped Archie Gray as he went, let the ball go out of play. I think the referee's just having to, I don't think there's very much in that whatsoever, but I just worry for Middlesbrough. I just think that the way that this game has gone, because of in transition when they lose the ball, they're so open and they're making bad decisions in those central areas. You know, they're likely to concede again if they can't get themselves a goal back.
Here is Silvera, near side the left wing position for Middlesbrough, blocked off by Byram. Leeds have been so much more solid defensively in the second half. Their shape off the ball has been good, and Nonto has been wrestled off the ball by the retreating Silvera right in front of Daniel Farke, and that's an obvious free kick for Leeds. Middlesbrough, meanwhile, are going to make a double change very shortly. Bangura is getting some instructions, certainly on the near side touchline, and I think Dan Barlasser, formerly of Rotherham, might be about to come on as well. But the Leeds fans, you can hear them. Super Leeds, they chant. Ruter, what a brilliant ball down the middle. Patrick Bamford, but the flag is up. Bamford will put it in the net. It's a great finish, but the flag was up a long time ago. What a pass from Ruter.
Yeah, Ruter uses his physicality really well in those central areas. He's been a bit quiet today. The one thing that Ruter can't do is finish, but what he can do is set others up, and Bamford had just gone too early, but it's a terrific straight ball up the pitch.
In fact, it's Alex Gilbert who's the second player to come on for Middlesbrough in place of Anthony Dijksteel, and the other change as I say, will be Alex Bangura on for Luke Thomas. So that's certainly both fullbacks coming off, and maybe that'll mean a switch in shape. We'll have to see how it pans out for Middlesbrough here.
Yeah, they needed to do something, because they're absolutely, the way that they're playing, their setup is playing into Leeds' hands. You know, I think that Daniel Farke tactically has just got himself in front of Michael Carrick in this second half, just because, like I say, perfect type of team for Leeds to play. You know, they're just so open when they lose it.
Bamford in the centre circle after Ruter's tackle and won it back for Leeds. Bamford looked to break, and Ruter is still down in the centre circle for Leeds United. Bamford's gone back across to the near side, the right, and Byram. I just wondered there for a second whether Bamford was going to look up and see Dieng off his line and go for goal. He hasn't done that, but Nonto's got it by the dead ball line. He's swinging across, but it's way over hit. Meanwhile, Ruter is back on his feet. It's out of play, and it's a Middlesbrough throw, and it's Middlesbrough 2, Leeds 4, 22 to go in the EFL Championship live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get tasty rewards points. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Leeds soaring into second, at least for now. Forward over the halfway line by Gilbert, the newly arrived sub. His first touch, the Irishman, is a decent ball up that far side right touch line, but Ampadu gets in front of Jones to send it back to Meslier. And actually, we spoke about Leeds' defensive record on the road in the Championship this season. The second half performance, at least, has shown us why that's the case.
Yeah, I think that they tactically, I think the game ran away with the players got a little bit excited. I'm talking from a Leeds point of view, and Daniel Farke gets them in at half time. And it's more measured. Their approach is more measured. They're nearly a bit too passive than what they were like when they hadn't got the ball, but just enough to, when they win it back, to get that fourth goal, which was key.
Here's Clark in the centre circle for Middlesbrough. 20-yard ball forward, intercepted on the slide by Leeds United's Archie Gray. Leeds are piling forward in terms of goals tonight in the race for the Premier League. They want an instant return to the top flight, do Leeds United. They've got a Leicester side battling with them who want the same thing. Ipswich Town haven't been in the Premier League for over 2 decades. They will have their say. And Leicester's next game, Leeds' next game, Ipswich's next 2 games, all live on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Free kick to Leeds on the halfway line. And you can see that for some of the Middlesbrough players, the belief is sapping away from them.
Absolutely is. You know, they gave their all, just didn't really have that sort of quality. And Leeds just look comfortable in this game now.
Here is Gray, midway inside the Middlesbrough half. He's played it to his left 10 yards. And Firpo, Somerville with a deflected reverse ball. That's out of play. A Leeds United corner. Nonto will let it dribble behind, right in front of the Leeds fans. Massed travelling ranks, 2,500 occupying part of one side of the stadium and a little bit of the southeast corner as well. Some of them are waving scarves above their heads. Lots of replica shirts on show in that part of the ground. Every single Leeds fan on their feet. Corner taken short, Somerville to Nonto. Back to Somerville on a hat-trick on the corner of the area. And Ampadu plays it back to Somerville. Can he get the hat-trick? Oh, it's just wide of the far post. He tried to place it into the bottom corner, curled it away from the goalkeeper. Bamford was sliding in, trying to meet it. In the end, it's a good 2-3 yards wide.
Yeah, I mean, that was good from Somerville. It was actually between a cross and a shot. I think he just tried to curl it, chip it in, but Bamford flew across and only just missed the ball to make it 5.
Leeds look like they're going to find their momentum again, just as Leicester City did of the weekend with that crucial win at home to West Brom, who look like they're going to be in the playoffs. Jones for Middlesbrough to Gilbert, right wing cross, nobody in red there to meet it. Even Latte Lath wasn't there this time. Middlesbrough have got just under 19 minutes plus added time to try and fight back and keep their unbeaten run going, but it doesn't look likely at the moment. They're 4-2 down. Here is Bangura. Alex Bangura, the near side, the left for Middlesbrough, blocked off by Nonto, who had the pace to race back and stop it going out for a Middlesbrough corner. And Ruter's got the tenacity and physicality to shrug aside 2 in red. Not beyond Gilbert, though. He wanted a free kick, not given by the referee. Middlesbrough have it on the halfway line beneath the floodlights here with Clark.
Leeds have just ground down Middlesbrough's resolve through when they had it in the first half, and back to front and the other way. And now in the second half, just a little bit better defensively. looking for their opportunities and just saying to Middlesbrough, see if you can beat us.
Lewis O'Brien floats the cross into the box, headed away by Junior Firpo. Little flick further clear by Somerville. Leeds have been very well organised in the second half so far. Ball out on the right is with Van den Berg. Little touch from Gilbert, trying to knock it up the middle from about 10 yards from the edge of the penalty area, but Leeds see to that and see that the ball is cleared. Bamford, against his old club, has run into traffic on the halfway line. Middlesbrough win it back again. Back they go to Seni Dieng, who has had nothing to do in the second half bar pick the ball out of the net. In fact, generally speaking, across the game, Leeds' finishing has been excellent. Lovely ball prodded to the left, though, by O'Brien to Bangoro. Deflected low cross. Falls for Azaz in the area. Very tight area. Very congested. 3 in white around him. Archie Gray steers it upfield for Leeds.
Yeah, he just wants too many touches, Azaz there. He's got himself in that position a couple of times. Either side of the goal each time, but one too many touches when you just want to get it out of your feet and strike towards goal.
Joel Piroux is going to come on for Leeds very shortly. Getting some instructions from Daniel Farker. All in white down below is the Leeds number 7. Leeds lead 4-2. 17 to go, and a much less action-packed second half, though in some senses no less interesting to watch. Here's an opportunity for Silvera right across goal, and Azaz at the back post from a tight angle running onto it. Could only brush the edge of the side netting.
Tell you what, that's a chance as it comes to Azaz. It has to hit that first time with his left foot, and it's quite a wide angle really, and he had to get that right. But little bit of a ray of light for Middlesbrough, but they just look like that belief is just sipping out of them.
Well, Bamford will go off and will get the boos, having scored a penalty against his old team. His name's being chanted by the Leeds fans. In fact, he didn't score a penalty. He scored a tap in from inside the 6-yard box to make it 2-1 as it stood for Leeds. And Joel Piroux, having scored 12 this season, a penalty in the reverse fixture, is a straight swap coming on.
Yeah, I think if it continues this way, it's going to be a nearly perfect away performance from Leeds. Exciting in the first half, reined in by the manager at half-time, and a much more mature second half performance.
Daniel Farker's tactical changes have worked for Leeds United. He was speaking this week and trying to channel the belief that Liverpool have shown in Jurgen Klopp's tenure over his time, and saying that Leeds need similar belief in their squad, and he's got all faith in his players. And Leeds are heading into the top 2 as it stands. Ball up the middle from Van den Berg, a loose pass, sweeping clearance upfield by Firpo for Leeds United. Van den Berg with a risky back pass back to his goalkeeper. Dieng did well to control that, the ex-QPR man. And Dieng's clearance is high and long and away from danger. Now then, Gilbert just shy of halfway for Middlesbrough, missing a number of key players due to injury issues. 15 to go, 4-2 down. Isaiah Jones with a right wing cross to the far post is going to loop onto the roof of the net.
Yeah, they're not putting enough bodies in the box. Middlesbrough, a couple of times they've got down that right hand side and the ball's come in the middle and it's just drifted past, and there's probably only one player with a red shirt on in the box and just not committing because they know what can happen when Leeds win it back.
Well, I did mention Dan Barlaser, the Middlesbrough defensive midfielder, earlier. Here he is now, on in place of Lewis O'Brien. What do you think Michael Carrick's trying to do at the moment, Lucy? Because is it necessarily all down to Leeds' tactical switches, or do Middlesbrough have to do a little bit better in possession?
Yeah, they need to be better in the final third. Middlesbrough, they're struggling with the lack of space that they've got in this second half, but again, it's when possession changes hands, that's where Middlesbrough are at their worst, and that is what Leeds have exploited. Barlaser, Newcastle Academy youngster, they just want to add a little bit more dynamism to the team, and the changes actually boosted a bit of intensity, but they're not really box crashing, they're not pushing players into the box when they get the ball wide and doing crosses, and Leeds pretty comfortable really.
Middlesbrough's longest unbeaten run in 3.5 years or so is going to come to an end at the Riverside tonight as it stands. 4-2 down to Leeds United. Van den Berg's ball out to the right side, and Jones is taking on Somerville. He darts infield away from Somerville, but Somerville is there tenaciously to track back again. The ball just sticks to his feet Somerville, whether he's defending or whether he's going forward. And now Ruter, lovely dummy through the legs of Van den Berg. Ruter skips infield from the left. He's tripped, a cynical foul by Jones. Ruter reacts, not happy, and Pirou just gets in front of Ruter and says, don't do anything that'll get you into trouble.
Has he already been booked?
Jorginho Ruter has not been booked.
No, Jones.
Jones has not been booked either.
No, because the Leeds players ran at the referee then as if that was going to be a problem. Ruter's a really strange player to describe because he's really, really poor in front of goal, but what he offers to Leeds when they regain possession, which is obviously where is that link-up play to the quick forwards, because he's physical, he keeps hold of the ball, he turns into space and then delivers the ball out wide to either Nonto or Somerville. He's so important to them.
And his assist record is testament to that across the course of the season. Only Leif Davis has got more assists in the Championship than Ruter, as Meslier hammers the ball upfield down the inside left channel for Leeds. Van den Berg gets across in front of Pirou. 12 to go plus stoppage time, and it's 4-2 to Leeds. So Leicester top, 91 points from 43. Leeds 90 from 44. Ipswich 89 from 43 as it stands. So Leicester and Ipswich would have games in hand on Leeds United. But just the way that the season is gone, you'd be pretty surprised if Leicester and Ipswich won all 3 of their remaining games each. I mean, you never know, Lucy, such is the craziness of the division, but you'd be surprised, right?
You would be surprised, and also Leeds going to QPR on Friday night. QPR are fighting for points as well. Will they turn them over? It's just, you cannot predict anything. Just like you couldn't predict this score, you cannot predict anything in the top 3.
Good noise from the Leeds fans again. Howson, the Middlesbrough captain. Infield and square to Barlasa. Barlasa pings a ball up the middle. Well controlled by Latte Lap, at least initially. He's bobbled the ball back into the centre circle where Barlasa takes over, but he's run into Ruter. Ruter scampers forward. He's laid it onto Nonto. Nonto is on the edge of the area, taking on Clark. Nonto twisting. Clark gets a tackle in, and across from the near side comes the on-rushing defender to knock it out of play. It's Latte Lap tracking back again, would you believe it?
I'll tell you what, he does some work, Latte Laf. I think in the second half he's not really had that space. He's not been afforded the space by Leeds. The centre-backs have kept close eye, and the centre midfielders have not been that far away from him in front. So he's struggled to find space, but he keeps working hard.
Jones infield for Middlesbrough, touched on by Howson, intercepted by Gruev. Howson has played a couple of sloppy passes today, and that's a clumsy foul on Nonto in front of the referee, and he'll get a yellow card as a result.
Yeah, they sort of pounced on him. They've sort of waited for Johnny Howson to take a touch that might not be his best touch, and then descended on in these Leeds players, and then they've broke on Middlesbrough, and that's when both him and Lewis O'Brien have had a problem. Lewis O'Brien's gone off now, but it has been a problem for that central midfield area.
He's had a great career, hasn't he, Lucy? You know Howson from your time when he was in the academy.
Terrific. I mean, Johnny Howson was in my first group when I worked at Leeds as head of education. He was in my first scholar group at 16 with Simon Walton. He's played for Leeds' first team as well, and absolutely terrific career, and always been a first-class professional.
Nonto and Ruter going off for Leeds. Here come Dan James, who scored in the reverse fixture and scored an amazing goal against Hull in the recent victory at Ellen Road, or Leeds' last victory. Glenn Kamara is also coming on, as I say, in place of Ruter. That's his 50th appearance in English football for the number 8, Kamara. Leeds have looked a great side going forward in the first half, couldn't defend at all in the second half. I think Daniel Farke, in a way, Lucy, and you'll know, having played the game, will he be much happier actually with the second half performance?
Yeah, I think he'll be happy with how his team responded to his instructions at half time. Daniel Farke knows that he's got the tools in that changing room, and it's about keeping the mentality and keeping that resilience, because he knows when they play well they can beat anybody in the league. Ball over the top from Byram towards James. His first touch, no. Can't keep it in by the dead ball line on the near side. But the game has got away from Middlesbrough here, it would seem. Less than 9 minutes of normal time to go. They are 4-2 down. The ground is quite subdued. In fact, there are Middlesbrough fans, it looks like, actually heading for the exits already. And some empty red seats are starting to appear. This would mathematically confirm that Middlesbrough cannot make the Championship playoffs, by the way. Tonight they would have to win to mathematically stand any sort of chance, but I think everybody felt before the game it was over anyway. I think too many injuries as far as Middlesbrough are concerned for their squad. The squad has struggled this season, and the goals are out of it. Obviously, Latte come in and done really well, but just that strength in depth they haven't got, particularly when they've got players missing through injury, and I think you've sort of seen that wide open in the second half tonight.
Here come Middlesbrough. On the far side, they're right with Barlassa, infield to the centre circle, and Howson, who has struggled to keep up with the pace of the game. Now Clark, angled ball to the left, and Bangura, who's right in front of us on the near side touchline, the player from Sierra Leone, who has just made his return tonight from a hamstring injury that had kept him out since January. Now Jones infield to Azaz on the edge of the box, miscontrolled it, still managed to poke it through towards Jones. Firpo diligent on the cover for Leeds, and Gray for once gets his clearance wrong. He's given it straight to Barlassa. Jones in a crossing position, he held on to the ball, back out wide to Barlassa. Good delivery, headed away by Ampadu at the near post. Remember, if Middlesbrough get one here, be an interesting last few minutes. Job not quite done yet for Leeds, though they have protected Meslier very well in the second half.
Yeah, Middlesbrough just don't really seem to have that clinical edge in front of goal in this second half when they're faced with a more solid and compact defensive shape that Leeds have obviously offered.
Here comes Gilbert with a great delivery, good gather by Meslier in between the edge of the 6-yard box and the penalty spot. The goalkeeper then collapses on the ball. He wastes away a few seconds. That's the cue for more Middlesbrough fans to get up and leave their seats. I wonder what Michael Carrick will be thinking. Lucia, you do sense that if he can add to the squad, Latte Lath as well with his form, and if they get players back fit, I'm sure they'll be in and around the top 6 next season.
Yeah, I like the look of the front four. They did well, particularly in the first half when they had a bit more space, but just a little bit more nous, a little bit more physicality in central midfield areas. I think they certainly need that, and obviously lacking that with the injuries as well, but just needs to bolster the squad. Bit of experience and a bit of a mix. They've got young players in the academy that are excellent, and there's a good young manager as well that just seen his team. I think just the quality of Leeds' squad is better on paper than Middlesbrough, and I think they've proved that on the pitch as well tonight.
We had 5 goals in the first half, 1 further from Leeds in the second, and they are 4-2 up. We'll be with Leicester against Southampton tomorrow. Leicester, it doesn't look like we'll get the chance to confirm promotion to the Premier League. In fact, if Leicester were to lose, then goodness me, it really would be very, very tight indeed in the race for promotion. Barlassa's given it away, and Dan James has been put through. James is clear. Great tackle by Bangura from nowhere. As James was poised to shoot, Bangura sprinted back and slid in and turned it behind for a corner.
I'll tell you what, Bangura's done well since he's come on. Young player, quick, covers the ground very, very well, and he timed that challenge. I mean, you know how quick Dan James is, and it was probably about a metre behind him, and still just probably took his time, Dan James, because he probably thought he had that time. But great challenge from Bangura.
Another change for Leeds, and the number 10 is up, so no hat-trick for Crescencio Somerville as Jayden Anthony replaces him. Somerville, has he got the message yet? He has. The referee's ushering him off the pitch, and a change for Middlesbrough as well. Middlesbrough are going to take off Sam Silvera, and what a moment, a first senior appearance in his entire career for the 17-year-old AJ Matthews in his first season in professional football.
Brilliant. Love to see young players get the chance. Particularly, I talked about how good this academy is at Middlesbrough, always has been.
Gruev is going to take the corner for Leeds in front of a rapidly emptying south end of the stadium. Lots of red seats appearing around the ground now. Dreadful delivery, Gruev. It's like he kicked the ground first, and the first touch in professional football for young Matthews is to send it skywards up towards the halfway line. Middlesbrough on the press, but Leeds with Roden go back to the goalkeeper. Leeds are 4-2 up, 4 minutes left on your home of the EFL. A cushioned header by Van den Berg, square to the feet of Clark. And Michael Carrick has been true to his word. He said ahead of these last few games for Middlesbrough, they've got a couple more to come after this, that there will be youngsters getting the opportunity in the team. Floated forward by Gilbert down the middle towards Latte Lath, a looping header! Fantastic header over the top of Meslier, and maybe late hope for Middlesbrough. Almost just out of nothing. Latte Lat, fantastic with the header over the top of the goalkeeper, who maybe was a little statuesque, and Leeds fans might start to panic with 3 minutes plus added time to go.
I tell you what, I said about Meslier. Meslier has been the issue. If Leeds have got any sort of issue in this second half, it's been Meslier, and he was caught in absolute no man's land. Just a hopeful ball forwards, and Latte Lat, he is a really, really good player. Small player, jumps up, heads it, loops it over the top of Meslier, and just a little bit of a wall. I can't see Middlesbrough coming back, but terrific from them to stay in this game, even though they've had all the changes and belief has sort of come out from that goal. The crowd who are still left in here have just got a little bit louder.
Middlesbrough 3, Leeds United 4, and those fans who are leaving the ground are coming back in.
Trailing back in again.
2.5 minutes of normal time to go. Leeds are second for now. If Middlesbrough score, they will drop back out of the automatic promotion places. 4-3 out of absolutely nowhere, and it's a desperate moment really for the Leeds goalkeeper Meslier, who was caught flat-footed.
I tell you what, they just need to put Leeds under pressure here, put the ball in the right areas, Middlesbrough, and just see what Leeds are made of in this last couple of minutes.
Middlesbrough not really with anything to play for, but it hasn't felt like it tonight. And here's Bangura bursting down the left. He's running field, he shoots, it's deflected, and the goalkeeper spills it wide. All sorts of panic and nerves in the Leeds United box. Hold on to your hats for the final few minutes. Corner's taken short, dinked in by Latte Lat. Clark's header back across. Leeds are scrambling, Leeds are panicking, hacked away by Anthony. Middlesbrough throw, totally unnecessary. From a Leeds perspective, 90 seconds of normal time left. Middlesbrough 3, Leeds United 4, and I think the referee has given a free kick here actually to Leeds United in the end.
Yeah, I think it's a throw-in, Joe. It went out and it looked like it was a Middlesbrough throw, but they're in a corner, and honestly, Leeds do not make it easy for themselves.
Well, this is really serious for Leeds in terms of automatic promotion. You feel they can't afford to let a lead slip, not in this fashion. They were 4-2 up and absolutely cruising, but Middlesbrough threw Latte Lat second, and there's real jeopardy in the game.
Yeah, they've got the ball at the back. They just need to get the ball forward, Middlesbrough, and put Leeds under pressure, see what they're made of.
50 seconds to go. Meslier and the Leeds defenders suddenly a bag of nerves. Here's Bangura for Middlesbrough.
Who's been brilliant.
Lively.
Bangura been brilliant since he come on.
Left wing position, plays it back to Barlassa now. Leicester and Ipswich fans will be listening intently too. It's Bangura to drill in the cross. Finazaz shoots, deflected behind Wolf Roden. Could have been an own goal. Corner, and the Leeds fans can barely watch.
Oh gosh, that nearly ended up an own goal in the back of the net for Middlesbrough.
Seni Dieng is coming forward. The goalkeeper has scored in his career before, twice for QPR and for Whitehawk. Corner into the penalty area by Azaz. High to the far post, headed away. Dieng is still forward, and now he's having to make his way back to halfway. 5 minutes of added time at the end of the game, and Dieng is still retreating, and Leeds are on the counter. Opportunity maybe for Kamara to touch it on to Gray. Two waiting for the ball in from the middle. Leeds lead 4-3. Gray down the left-hand edge of the area. Deflected cross goes behind for a corner. You just can never sit comfortably in the Championship. Leeds lead 4-3. We are 30 seconds into 5 added, and for the Leeds fans, it'll feel like 5 hours, Lucy Ward.
Listen, you can only think that if Middlesbrough have just taken a few risks earlier on, than the 85th minute or whatever it was, if they'd have done it 10 minutes earlier, could they have put Leeds under pressure? Leeds have got a corner now, they're not going to be in a rush to take it.
Anthony has got it by the corner flag in front of the Leeds fans. Leeds have not sent anybody forward. There's no one in the Middlesbrough penalty area in a white shirt. Kamara's trying to keep the ball by the corner flag. They're not going to be able to do that for 5 minutes, and a goal kick is given to Middlesbrough, and they take it quickly through Dieng. 4 minutes to go here. Can Middlesbrough grab an equaliser that would deal Leeds automatic promotion hopes an absolutely huge blow? At the moment, Leeds are second, but if Middlesbrough score, they'll drop out of the top 2. And here's Bangura for Middlesbrough. Left wing position. Barlassa infield. Barlassa Back to Bangura, who delivers the cross in towards the youngster Matthews. It'll come out to Howson! Saved by Meslier. He held on to it. What an incredible story that would have been. Johnny Howson against his old club. Maybe he should have done better.
Yeah, I mean, what he was doing, he was just being careful to get it on target rather than swipe wildly at it. But the last few minutes just been all Middlesbrough, and it was a terrific strike from Howson, but just not in the corner enough to bother Meslier.
Nearly 2 through the 5 added minutes. Hearts in mouths for Leeds United supporters there when Howson struck the ball goalwards. His back header to Dieng. Leeds have gone from a position of total comfort to real panic and fear now. 4-3 up, but Middlesbrough have got their tails up the team in red. From right to left against the Leeds team all in white. Crossfield ball to Jones. Jones has brought it down beautifully. Firpo hammers it behind. All of Leeds' compactness. All of the structure is gone now. It's another Middlesbrough corner. They've taken it quickly. Dieng, the goalkeeper's forward. Jones on the edge of the box. Dieng is still 10 yards to the edge of the area. Barlaser steered it wide. To the right-hand side. Opportunity for the delivery. It comes in from Johnny Howson. Headed away by Joe Roden for Leeds, and now the goalkeeper's got to get back, and he has got back, and Middlesbrough have won it back midway inside the Leeds half. Leeds lead 4-3. We are just over halfway through the 5 added. Cross into the area. Meslier flapping at it, didn't know where he was positionally, got very lucky. It swept over his head and away to safety, and now Leeds are breaking with James on halfway. Fouled by Bangura. That looked harsh. Middlesbrough fans out of their seats in front of us. It's a free kick to Leeds. Leeds have made hard work of this.
This has been an absolute crackers end to the game, and Middlesbrough, if they don't get anything out of this game, will be kicking themselves that they left it that late to have a go at Leeds, because Leeds just did not respond. They've been comfortable, but they just didn't respond to that late pressure.
Just how worrying is the form of the goalkeeper going into the last 2?
It's just panicking. Every time it comes near him, he's absolutely panicking.
They have got a very experienced goalkeeper in Carl Darlow in reserve. Not that I'm suggesting Farke would change the goalkeeper at this point in the season, but you have to have a think about it maybe. Throw to Leeds now midway inside the Middlesbrough half. Just over a minute of added time to go. The Riverside is on its feet. Leeds fans will be the big sigh of relief if they can hang on here. They'll be on 90 points for the championship season. 1 above Ipswich, 1 behind the leaders Leicester, who played tomorrow against Southampton. Marching on together. Sing the Leeds United fans. They're nearly there. 45 seconds now.
They're just wasting time now, Leeds. They just know that they need to just stretch the time out as much as possible.
Leeds throw by the corner flag. Barlaser back covering, rolls it back to goalkeeper Dieng. There might be one last chance for Middlesbrough here. Jones is in the right back position. He's being urged forward. 25 seconds to go. Middlesbrough 3, Leeds 4. Jones escapes Anthony. He's run 50 yards down the right. Kamara with a good tackle. That's a foul by Anthony. A silly, risky panic challenge. Free kick taken quickly by Middlesbrough. Dieng is in the centre circle, the goalkeeper. Leeds with everybody back. There are less than 10 seconds to go. It could be automatic promotion on these few seconds for Leeds. In by Barlaser. Clark flicks it on. Headed away. Drops down to Jones. Cleared away by Glenn Kamara. Out of play for a throw. The whistle does not go. We've had 5 added minutes, and Dieng, the goalkeeper, he doesn't care. He's just playing like a striker now, Dieng. The championship is balmy. Leeds have won it. Marching up into second place. They do it by the skin of their teeth. But Leeds have won for the first time in 4 matches, and their automatic promotion push gathers pace again. They have ended Middlesbrough's 9-game unbeaten run. The playoffs are mathematically over for Michael Carrick's team now. Some of the Leeds players collapse to the ground. My goodness, they made it hard for themselves at the end. But Leeds United have won by 4-3, up to 90 points for the league season. 1 ahead of Ipswich, who dropped down into 3rd. 1 behind Leicester, the league leaders. Leeds have played a game more, and it's over to Leicester City tomorrow night against Southampton for the latest instalments of maybe the most thrilling automatic promotion race the championship has yet seen. 5 goals in the first half. Somerville from the penalty spot, Bamford and Nonto for Leeds, with the scorers for Middlesbrough, Jones and Latte Lat. Into the second half, Leeds through Somerville made it 4-2, his second of the game. They looked so comfortable until Latte Lat's looping header made it very edgy in the closing stages. But Leeds, despite some extremely hairy moments, survived, and maybe their push for the Premier League is back on again. The pendulum swings once more. Who knows what will happen in the final 11 days of the second tier season. Middlesbrough 3, Leeds United 4.
Well, the Leeds players look like they have been through the absolute ringer tonight. They're delighted in front of the travelling faithful. They're in to the top 2, but you can tell it's an evening that would have taken a lot out of them physically and emotionally. The game was end to end. It was an absolute nail biter. It went down to the closing stages. They have managed to get a vital 3 points in terms of their bid to reach the Premier League next season. The Championship top table stands like this. Leicester, the leaders, 91 points from 43 played. Leeds, 90 from 44. Ipswich, 89 from 43. You get the feeling this might go down to the final minute of the final game of the season. Absolutely incredible night at the Riverside. What was it like to be there, Lucy Ward?
I tell you what, Hugh, it was absolutely brilliant, and it ebbed and flowed. The first half was a little bit crackers, sort of end to end. Then Leeds came out, and then obviously Farke had a word, and they defended better. But what that defended, they got a little bit passive. They got that 4th goal, and then they just allowed the game to go into a lull. And when Middlesbrough upped it in terms of the substitutes, they couldn't get themselves out of the lull, Leeds, and so that goal back, and then I thought that Middlesbrough were going to equalise. I really did at the end, because Melier was flapping and they struggled defensively. The changes defensively didn't really help Leeds, and they're certainly breathing a sigh of relief. You can see them now. They are celebrating, but that was not easy.
No, not at all. There's a big chance for Finn Azaz. He might rue it in that game for Middlesbrough, but ultimately Crescencio Somerville showed his class to give them a little bit of breathing space. His 19th goal of the season. That was before Emmanuel Latela did pull one back for Borough with a fantastically taken looping header. 2 great goals of quality in that second half, really. But once again, after another victory for Leeds, we probably have to reflect on the fact that the class of Crescencio Somerville was a difference once again. Player of the season in the Championship, no less.
Yeah, I think a lot of Leeds players coming down from the Premier League moved away. They wanted to move away. They didn't want to play in the Championship. And I think a smart decision from Somerville was that he was going to stay, and he's been a standout player. He's not a Championship player. He's obviously a Premier League player, but he's come and he's shown every single week in, week out, what a good player he is. And because he's played loads of minutes, shown what he can do, then his value has just rocketed to Leeds and obviously to the rest of football.
Absolutely. Now for Leeds, can this be a springboard? Because look, I want to say that Leeds are back. They scored 4 goals tonight. They were, in an attacking sense, incredible at times. The amount of times that they were able to actually get shots off without consolidating possession in the final third. They were able to cut through Middlesbrough at times, or at least for their goals. But at the other end, they were shaky. They conceded 3 goals tonight. They could have conceded more. What will Daniel Farke take from this result?
Well, I think that Middlesbrough were the perfect opponent for Leeds, because they took the bait of getting themselves forward and then leaving the back and the central areas open for Leeds to score. I think what Coventry and Blackburn did better against Leeds is that they didn't allow those sort of spaces to occur, and Leeds became frustrated, and Blackburn manages to obviously get the winner. And I think Middlesbrough just didn't have that sort of nous. However, if they'd have sort of got the bit between the teeth a bit earlier on, maybe earlier than the 85th minute, then they could have caused so many problems for Leeds, Middlesbrough. But Leeds sort of, I won't say limp on, but they're not particularly purposely striding on. I think there's 1 or 2 things that, the goalkeeper causes issues for the back four, but it's not necessarily about performances at this moment in time, it's about points, and the 3 points is exactly what Leeds had to get tonight, I think.
Absolutely massive 3 points. Lucy Ward, thank you very much, alongside Joe Shennan tonight on Talksport 2. Remember, Leeds will face Queen's Park Rangers away from home next. We will have that live for you here on Talksport Friday night, 8 o'clock kickoff once again. That's before they face Southampton on the final day.